All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, can y'all hear me? Yeah, I think it's going. Oh, I got two viewers. I'm trying to get to the chat. Sorry. What a day I had. Don't worry, we're going to talk about it. Come on. I'm almost there. It says it's good. Come on. Come on now. There we are. Hey, Ashley. Someone you blocked as a moderator here. LOL. Oh, Lord. Who is it? Hey, Dominic. Oh, I look fantastic. I love you. I've had a horrible day. It's a burden knowing what we know. I mean, look at my eyes. It seems like once you know everything that we understand, um, shit starts to happen. Like today, like my boss was just blaming me for everything. I get home, I get into it. Like my husband was like, he had been tiling the floor all day and he's got to work tonight. And I mean, I was on my feet for 8 hours and he was like, hey, will you make me a salad? And I should have just joyfully done it. And instead, I was like, dude, I've been on my feet. Just give me a minute. He got upset. So, I mean, I tried to get up and make it anyway. And he was like, I mean, we were just fighting. It was bad. And I just couldn't take being fussed at anymore. And so I got dressed and I got my keys and well, no, I forgot my keys. I like went out the door and I forgot my keys and I had locked the door because I just wanted to go to like a shop and like walk around, and just clear my head. And I had to knock on the door and be like, hey, I forgot my keys. And he wouldn't let me in. So I just started walking and I walked out of my neighborhood and onto a main road. And this cop stopped and was just like trying to give me a ride. And I was trying to refuse, but I felt like I had to go with him. And then like I told him my problems, which was so embarrassing. And I just went up to a store and got like a Red Bull. And I was like, well, thanks for everything. He thought I had broken down, but I just needed to get out. Like I just started walking, I probably walked like a couple miles. And so I was just so upset. And so then, it's just like a lot of times I feel like this stuff is like a spiritual attack or something, being punished for knowing what I know. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's rough. It seems like everything's against you. Everything's going wrong. Let's see. Charles annoys the shit out of me. He knows and provokes me. Dominic says you must remember to take on the posture of the shifter. Shoulders back, chin up, deep breaths into the gut. Yeah, I can do it. Thank you, Dominic. It's okay. It's like I didn't want to like engage back and scream. I just wanted to leave the situation and try to not react. I just wanted to like walk away. And it really like when my kids saw me like walking, they saw me out the front window, like it really upset them, and I shouldn't have done that. But I just needed to like walk off and just not react. I was just trying not to react to it. Oh, you got your dog back? Oh, I'm glad, Glenn. Thank you, Poppy. Dominic says, no, I don't think so. I think it's a test over here. I've noticed there are good things that come after hard tests. Maybe time is fast to help us through these bumpy parts. I love you, Glenn. I'm glad you streamed today. I didn't notice it till I was trying to get on. I got a notification, and once it was over. Oh, and I had like somebody trying to schedule an interview with me so I could leave this job. And my husband didn't even tell me about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw it on Sunday." I mean, I just responded to it. They emailed me on the 28th, but maybe the job's still open. I don't know. Dominic says, "I think you're being shown what you can handle. Isn't it kind of awesome what you just proved you can handle?" Yeah. I don't know about you, but I found it impressive. But thank you. You're awesome. And then I called my daughter, and she came and picked me up, and we went to Walmart and just walked around and bought bullshit like this kind of stuff. Look, I don't even know what this is. It's like KNOPPES. It's like some kind of weird foreign wafer cookie, and they're really good. So I'm feeding my emotions. So that's the thing. I mean, it's Dominic saying I use the words universe and light though because churches messed me up when I was young. Yeah, that's the thing. I like believe that we have a creator, but I like to call him my creator because I don't want to pray to the wrong God. You know what I mean? Because there are a lot of things out there, I think, that purport to be God. And there's a lot of man made, like created images of God that I don't want to worship. You know what I mean? But I do believe there's an ultimate creator and I try to connect with him. And I pray that like he gives me when I meditate, I like try to get the light and I say, just give me the light so I can give it to others and then give it back to you. I pray for that every day when I meditate. So we gotta spread the love, people. That's what it's all about. I mean, you'd be really surprised just like being loving and understanding and like listening to someone. It can change their life. And then it opens them up. And when you start to talk about what we know, they start to accept because you've broken down that barrier, you know? Because the reason people like non-affected people don't want to know is because they've got that wall up. I mean, that's their whole life. It's all they've ever known. And you're about to sit there and tell them that everything they know is a lie and show them that reality does shift. So it's better to come from a place, I think, for me, it's better to come from a place of loving and understanding. And I only speak about these things to people who are broken down already. Life has broken them down. And I recognize that they're special because they had to go through a trauma or they had to go through something hard. Just like Dominic was saying, like something good comes after a test. And I mean, I spent 2.5 years in prison and I don't regret it. I would do it again because it helped me connect with my creator in a big way, like a direct connection. And I know we've all been through trials and there's a reason for that because it was known that we would, be loving and help change this place and help get everybody out, hopefully, in the end. But I'm telling you, you break down those barriers with love and understanding first, people are so accepting of what you say. I feel like I've made so many people believe that the earth is flat, and I just think if you can question the shape of this realm, if you realize it's not what you were told, it opens the door and anything's possible in your mind. It's the first step. It's the first step for a lot of us, you know. So I don't know. Mama bear, you're my baby bear. Yeah, Ashley said, yeah, just like the Bible. Yeah, I like the Bible. I like the Nag Hammadi. Because I like, you know, every time I read like these writings, it's something else like impresses upon me like something good. So they're just, you know, they're good words. Oh, wait, you talked some tonight about flat or oblong Earth. You know what? I saw this thing and they were saying that it was long and flat like a rectangle, and it looks almost like a map like you would look on, and like when the sun goes across, as soon as it disappears here, it like pops up over here immediately. And sometimes I wonder, is that what it's like? I mean, I just don't know. I just know it's not what we're told. It could be much bigger, you know. You know, it's just you shouldn't be able to film something from 60 miles away. You shouldn't be able to see it. It's just like stuff like that, like 50 miles away. It should be down the curve, but it's not. Like if you get to a really flat place, like in the desert, like in Arizona and places like that, I mean, you can get somebody to travel and you can sit there and zoom in and see buildings or see the person. It's fucked up. I mean, I've done it for myself, and I've even done experiments like on Lake Pontchartrain in Slidell. So if you can see across the causeway, if you can like see the other side, that's not possible. I'm like, how is that bridge possible? It's like 42 miles long. Yeah. They have to like adjust for a curve. It's just like, you know, whatever. I don't know. It's fucked up. I'm buffering. Ugh. Yeah. See, to me, it doesn't look like I'm buffering. Is it bad? Let's see, it says it's good. It's not that bad. Ugh. Oh well, whatever. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad it's good now. Just, I've had it today. Look, I didn't even make my bed. Like usually when I get home, I like make my bed, make sure I'm all ready. Just don't even care. Is the stream good now? I don't know. I mean, I just what this all means sometimes. I mean, oh, I love you, Ashley. I mean, and like my husband was sitting there telling me stuff like, you know, I just can't keep doing this. Like you're miserable at that job. Like basically like acting like he's gonna leave me, or he was saying, you know, I love you, but nothing makes you happy. I mean, y'all don't understand. Like every day I'm coming in, like talking about like how poorly I was treated. I don't know. Oh, I love you too, Ashley, my friend. You want to come on my stream, Ashley, or does anybody? If anybody does, push your email and I'll pop you in. Hey, Poppy, thank you. I need hugs. I mean, it's scary. Like, we've been together been married almost 20 years. And I mean, just to see him like that just freaked me out. And he, of course, then he left. Oops. Then he left for fucking work. So I'm just hanging there. Whatever. It's fucked up. Like, I work so much that I can't even function, really. Oh, I wish I could smoke. I'm on parole, though. I'll be off in November. And then I'm going to Colorado and do it legally. Or Florida. Patrick, I love you. I'm going to send you a link, Patrick. Because I love you. Ooh, Poppy. I'm trying. Yay. Okay, I sent it. Hey, QP. I wish I could see you. What can I do? Ashley said, "Wow, I know the not being able to function thing." Yeah, my husband was like, "Just quit your job." Oh. All right, I sent out links if anybody's interested. Oh, you remember when MA was talking about those like weird flat peaches? Actually, I took a picture of some of them. I have to post it. They're called donut peaches. Who is that? Is that Poppy?
I'm live. You can't do it.
What the?
I know.
Are you in your den?
Yeah.
What you doing?
I was supposed to be hanging out with my husband.
I got cocked out.
I'm sure they probably heard that. He's bringing me alcohol and moving to my room.
Hey, he's my Facebook friend.
Is he?
Yeah. I sent him a friend request, and he was just like, "Okay."
Yeah. He was like, I think I'm friends with that Martha chick.
Yeah,
like, I think
you are.
Wherever he went. Oh, our poor cat. I have one. Our 19-year-old cat is dying. So that's what's been going on with me today.
My dog just tonight has become incontinent and acts like she's dying.
Oh no!
Isn't that weird? That's like a saint, kind of.
She did the same thing. She peed on the floor, and then she's not been well.
Yep, that's what my dog's doing.
And now she's just chilling in her little box that we set up for her.
Yeah, we set up a big blanket in the kitchen and kind of tied her up to the middle style of one of the cabinets so she could still get to food and stuff. But I mean, she was peeing all over the place. I mean, she was just walking and it was just coming out.
Yeah, for a few days, by the litter box, it was all wet, and she was peeing on the floor around the litter box. And then we couldn't figure out which one was doing it. And then she just she sleeps on the bookshelf, and she kind of fell off and peed on the floor. Sorry, I'm moving all this stuff around.
That's fine. I understand.
I'm hang on. Well, this is the first time I'm streaming from my Kindle, so the camera might be different on this.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It's a little
Usually-
dark. But
Dark. Oh, because I didn't turn my light on. Oh well. You guys don't care. I
nah,
know you only
don't
tune
matter.
in for my face.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love you too, Patrick. Patrick's so sweet. Look, I'm going to eat this big ass wafer cookie and drown my sorrows in sugar.
Is he coming on too?
He said his reception's too bad.
Okay, that's what he just told me.
Yeah,
What do I got here? I got Gemini.
Dominic said you ought to
Oh.
shoot the next Blair Witch movie.
Right? Yeah, I know. I'm not used to my Kindle streaming from my Kindle like at all.
You're like,
So-
they're in the woods, you know, like the witch is coming.
I know,
Or whatever
like-
it is.
Uh-huh.
Fuck it.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's something going on with this shift, you guys. People have lost their damn minds. I don't know what's going on, but
What do you
And I
mean? Like,
cannot-
what's happening?
I can't see chat either, so because I just got like the live screen or whatever. I don't know. I'm just seeing a lot of people like arguing and like, yeah, you're having like boss issues and I don't know all that shit with Charles and yeah, I don't know. It's just like I'm fucking over it.
What is going on with that? Because I don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah, basically people sent, from my understanding, people sent him money and then one of the people asked for it back because they weren't sure how he was spending it. And he freaked out and basically said he was going to disappear them from existence. And then he denied that he said it, but I saw the text and he said it was basically because of a shift and you can't trust any of that stuff. And yeah, so
Oh.
it wasn't
I mean, we're all-
directly involved.
You know. Ashley said, tell me everything, Poppy. Charles sucks. Creepy fuck. I mean, what did he creep on you, Ashley?
You didn't notice that he was creepy from the beginning?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
See, he's always been like, the only interaction I have with him is on my stream, and he's always been nice and pleasant.
Yeah, he has a really nice and pleasant side, but he has a side too that's not. And I don't know how much of that is just mental illness issues or something else. But I'm like, bro, just get some help. I don't know if you really don't remember or something else is going on, but it's not okay. And that's kind of where I left it. Like, I'm not going to argue about it. You know, either you remember it or you don't, but you shouldn't have said it no matter what. You know, you talk about disappearing people from existence. Like, that's not cool, but yeah. I don't
Ashley
know.
said that's what happened. That's what happens when you say the Holy Spirit is fucking Lucifer. That is like
Oh.
a freaking Masonic thing. They think that Jesus is really Lucifer and all this other stuff. So
Yeah, he plays around with a lot of stuff. Yeah, because his mom was into a lot of stuff, so and he knows about how to work with spirits and shit like that. So, yeah, he has some dark stuff around him for sure.
well, that's the thing. Like, you know, when you're a person that can see the truth, sometimes it's set up from the beginning for you to be raised in that
Mhm.
stuff. I mean, just like what happened to me, but I was able
Yeah.
to come out of it. Thank God. You know, I never wanted to participate, but I've seen a lot of fucked up shit that I just can't talk about. You know what I mean? Not here.
Right. Yeah. And see, and that's, just because you can't help like how you were raised. So I don't know how much of what I saw, like the dark energy around him, is stuff that he just inherited because that's how he was raised, or if he's still playing with that stuff. I don't know.
I mean,
I have no way to know that for sure.
I've had shit like literally exercised out of me. Like I threw up a black substance. You know what I mean? Like that's what it took because I was just so programmed and, you know, abused as a kid, bad, like ritually abused. So, I mean, I had spirits attached to me, but I sat there and sought help for it.
Mhm.
You know, I recognized what was happening, and I did that like in my very early 20s.
Yeah, see, and I just don't know how much like he's tried to do that. I don't know. I caught a couple of streams where like things were falling off the shelves behind him, and like I could just
Damn.
feel that dark presence.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me feel bad though. Like maybe he needs help. I mean, I could help him with that. I mean, I know where he can go to like get rid of it if he needed to.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, you have to
If
remember
he's
sometimes people are oppressed, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder that too, and that's why I'm like, listen, at the bare minimum, you shouldn't have said what you said. But there's some other
Yeah.
creepy stuff, going on around you. You need to fix that. So I'm just like, I don't hate you. I just like am kind of creeped out, and being around people, well, being around evil stuff growing up, you
Yeah.
recognize, like you see it, and yeah, there's no doubt that he's got some evil shit attached to him that he needs to break off. So, I mean, I don't know. It's up to
Charles, if
him.
you're
Like,
watching this and you need help, just let me know. Email me. Oh my God. I mean, like if you really like seriously just need like spiritual help, like if you want to get rid of this stuff, I'm going to post my email.
yeah, because I felt
the underdog, okay?
yeah. I think that this camera is a much better camera than my laptop. Because I swear to God, I can see like every flyaway hair.
Yes, Rob.
Like, oh God.
Yes, Patrick, you are still in chat. Hey, Patrick. I think he's having problems. Who knows?
Yeah, they don't get like any reception there, like at all.
Well, see, I had to move my router into the den, so I'm on Wi-Fi. So I don't know if that's affecting it too. Yeah, you're still in chat, Patrick.
Oh, yeah. If I was smart, I would go get the computer and rejoin on the computer and then use this for chat, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You just tell me if there's anything interesting. Ooh, did you guys see that?
Chat?
Yeah, just tell me if there's anything like, interesting that I need to see, I guess. Otherwise, I'll just, let's talk with you. Did you guys see that? Oh, go ahead.
Did we see what?
The dream that Axa had about me? Well, she told me in her chat. Or in my chat, yeah. And she's like, yeah, we've been having creepy dreams, and so there was like blood dripping from the ceiling, and then she's like, she was watching this woman, like go to run the shower, and then like there was blood everywhere, and then when she walked into the room, like something raised her up to the ceiling, and then she tried to run down the stairs, and got stopped like halfway down the stairs. And then she's like, can I tell you something? I was like, yeah, sure. And she's like, that woman was you in the dream.
Damn.
That was me in the dream. Yeah, right? And I was like, okay. Holy crap. So, yeah, it's in my chat, like, kind of towards the beginning somewhere. Like, maybe 15, 20 minutes in or something like that. But I'm like, oh, girl, email me. You've got to tell me exactly what's going on with this, because now I'm a little freaked out, so.
Yeah.
Were you going to ask me something?
Oh no, I mean like you have like a spirit in your house, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Is it friendly? Like are y'all able to cohabitate?
There's a little old lady that is protective with my husband, and then there's a child that usually like hangs out and plays with my kids. And then there's like kind of a man that kind of walks around every once in a while, and he's just kind of like a watcher. And everything else, like I just kick everything else out. Oh, and I've got my little brownie that lives at my house.
Your little what?
It's called I'm pretty sure he's a brownie. It's just a little fairy elf guy. It's a couple of feet tall.
Okay. Ooh, Svetlana's got a video out. She posted a link. That's good. Let's see. I wonder what the dream means. What does it mean to you?
Well, I went back and reread it when she said that because I thought, well, maybe it has a lot to do with when I almost bled to death. I thought maybe there would be some symbolism there, but I don't know. So I'm like, I'm kind of analyzing it like, okay, well,
Maybe a spirit caused you to almost bleed to death.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, like maybe you were like under like a big spiritual attack, and maybe that's the message. You know?
Maybe. Yeah, because she said, like, I ran into the room and then, like, something raised me up off the ground. So I'm like, I don't know. It does sound like that dream sounds more spiritual than anything. And I do
Yeah.
kind of, like, constantly feel like that, but I don't know. I'm always battling shit constantly.
You know what? I think there's a link. Aren't you like slightly like on the spectrum a little bit?
Probably.
You know, I think there's a direct link. My husband does too, because he used to work, you know, at a hospital like with, you know, little kids. And he said there's a link between like people on the spectrum and being able to speak to like the spirit world. Because our daughter, she has had those seizures and they thought she was on the spectrum because she exhibited a lot of the same behaviors and stuff. And I mean, she used to straight up tell us she was talking to Jesus. You know, I mean, like every night she couldn't talk about it. She would get really emotional and cry when she said it. But she had felt like, she said one time she was looking out the window and a face like came through the screen. Like the screen became a face and it told her, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. I'm going to protect you. And then it faded back. I mean, you know, and I think that it like because of the way like people on the spectrum, like their brains are wired, like I think they're more accepting to messages. Like they can get messages from other dimensions.
Yeah, my diagnosed son is the one that sees the time distortions the most. I think for me, like, I didn't even realize that other people didn't see the world like I did. Like, I just didn't even know.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it's only through all of the testing with him that I'm like, yeah, I have more than a few of these characteristics, but I just didn't know that that's what it was. I just passed off different things for different reasons. Like, oh, you know, I had a hard childhood, so I didn't fit in, so I didn't learn social skills, just, you know, stuff like that. But
yeah,
I've seen.
And see, I think that's why there's a rise of it, though. I think that's why you see a huge increase in the population, because I think it's like planned to be that way. Because those people can see things, they can know things that, like, you know, people who are wired normally can't, like so-called normally. I think it's really not a disorder. I think it's like a blessing.
I think that it is. Well, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about autism. They're like, oh, those people, you know, like they don't have any empathy, for example. And I'm like, that's not true at all. We just communicate differently. It doesn't mean that we don't feel anything. We just don't communicate the way that everybody else does. But it also makes it so, like, I don't just like follow people blindly either. So there's Fet.
There's my home girl.
What did I miss?
What's up, beautiful?
Hello.
See, I feel good now. I mean, I don't know. Like whenever I'm with you, Svetlana, I feel like a complete person. Isn't that strange?
Well,
and you guys remember
as an energy, you know.
I know. That's good stuff.
Well, you guys remember when I said somebody was going to join our group, and it was turned out to be Svetlana. So I'm like, yeah, she lives in California now, female. She has a lot of spiritual knowledge. And she's going to be joining our group. And then here she is.
She predicted you.
Well, prediction worked.
That's right.
I could feel you coming.
I was downloading my video. It was 9-minute video. It took me 40 minutes to download it.
See, they're slowing down our bandwidth because they don't want us to spread the knowledge. because it's a
Also,
burden, you know.
and also during
It's true.
download, I had a drone flying next to my balcony and just stopped there for a minute or two.
Oh, that's creepy.
It's just
Listen, earlier when
where
I
they
got
got permission
upset,
to spy on citizens like that.
listen, when I got upset and walked down the road, a police officer picked me up. He was in plain clothes, but he was showing me his badge, and he gave me a ride. Okay. And I mean, I kind of felt like I had to go with him. And then I got a drink at the store, and he was kind of waiting for me to come out to take me home. And when I left, I was like, hey, I was like, thanks for everything. I appreciate it. I was like, have a great night. And when I walked off, he said my name. He was like, Martha, but I never told him my name. I never told him my name.
That's
And it
creepy.
really freaks me out. So I walked like to the Dollar General and sat on this bench behind a pole and called my daughter to come get me.
Well, you have to remember everything and everybody we experience, it's our personal experience. And because what we are and what we already know, we sort of targeted individuals, believe it or not, you know?
Oh no, I know it. I know it. And I just the fact that that dude knew my name, I was just like, what the fuck,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Hmm. Yeah, that's creepy.
It is creepy because I never told him my name.
Hmm.
I had instances like that too. We've been watched.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like when I was walking out of my neighborhood, I saw him pass me. Then I went onto the main road and he pulled into a business. And I kept on going, and then he pulled out and pulled into another business driveway to get to me. And I was just like, oh shit. And when he showed me his badge, I was like, do you need to see my ID? Like I was confused, you know? Like, is it illegal to walk on this road? And he's like, no, did your car break down? And he was like, get in. And I was like, well, I'm fine. And he's like, no, I'm not a creep. And it was really bizarre. I was just like,
If you're
okay.
not a creep, you don't have to mention it.
Right?
Oh my God.
That is
Like,
weird.
it is weird.
Mhm.
So I don't know. And he looked familiar to me too, which was bizarre. I was just like, I think I've seen him in public a few times.
Watching you.
Just in the grocery store, like I'll go on when I go to the grocery, it's usually one or two people. I'll see them on every fucking aisle I go on.
Or
And they're
some of
always like looking into my basket. It's really bizarre.
some of those things are straight up aliens, you know.
And they're always trying to like look at me. And a lot of times I'm like, hey, how are you? And I start talking to them and it freaks them out.
Yes,
It does.
It's just like, fuck it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll get rid of them.
Who is the
Yeah.
battery over here, right?
Yeah. I'm like, you need some energy? Here I am. Let me talk to you for a minute. You can charge up and go be on your way because I got more.
No, it seems like we're so powerful. They're actually afraid of us, and they're afraid what we're going to do next. Like,
So what is your video about that you uploaded?
just some stuff about Matrix, how people get possessed and stuff, how easy it is, and each one of us get possessed several times during the day. It's just a
Oh,
thought
nice.
implanted in your brain, yeah. And when your defenses is down, when you stress out, then when you cannot control it, then they're getting you really good.
Mm.
When
Yeah, I
you're
was being
scared,
attacked so bad. I was being attacked so bad in
when
my
you're
home. I
scared, when
just had to
you're
like
drunk,
walk off.
yeah.
I mean, fuck it.
Yeah, I think we're coming through some interesting shift stuff this time. Like, I don't know, I just feel like there's like more spiritual growth this time, but everything's getting shaken up and realigned in some way. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it feels like everybody's being shuffled around again and like we're being tested and stuff, and I think it'll pass, but yeah, it's kind of just an interesting time this the shift has been so far, and I think we're not done yet. So
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's really emotional, so we're about to have a big push of energy, is what it is, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can feel energy building up. Something is coming up.
yeah, hmm absolutely, yeah. Because I
And it's
feel it.
hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's like a burden. I mean, it's like wearing on me bad, you know? And I mean, I'm sitting there trying to recharge like all through the day. I was exhausted all day long. Like I was just being pulled. Like the
Oh,
energy
on
was
the
just
4th
being
of July,
pulled.
they drain us completely. I was like, I was drained
hmm
during the 4th of July. I'm still recovering. I don't know
hmm
what been done this day, but they've been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I feel slightly better today, but second, third, fourth, where I was a wreck.
Oh, you
So
can look it up on YouTube. How many transmission we have? Like how many live streams was those days? It was almost none.
yeah,
Yeah, because we were all just like, I
Yeah,
mean, even on the 4th of July, I just couldn't do it. I was just, I mean, I just slept.
yeah. And today we're
yeah.
like waking up. Okay, let's continue.
Like
Like
even my
okay,
husband slept for 17 hours last night. I mean, he kept waking up and he just could not get up. He was having like
Oh
sleep paralysis and
no, if you need it, if you feel you need it, you have to take it. Yes,
yeah.
like your body should dictate you what you need to do.
yeah. There's no point in fighting it because yeah, you just have to get the sleep. It's like your whole body just shuts down, and if you fight it, then it's just 10 times worse. You just have to get the sleep and get through it, and then when it's over, like pick yourself up again.
Yeah. Did anyone else experience like lately when my heartbeat like I'm going to a room, I lay down to bed, and the whole room is pulsating like my heartbeat together.
Yes, my whole
And
body is pulsating like
my
a
son
heartbeat.
actually saw like
Yep.
when I walk into the room, the whole room was pulsating like my heartbeat, and he
I
saw
thought
the
it was an
movement.
earthquake. I thought it was an earthquake at first. When it first started, I thought, oh no, we're
Yeah,
having a little earthquake. And then it didn't stop and it just kept vibrating. And I was like, oh, that's me. I'm
yep,
vibrating. Okay. Yeah.
yep. We separating from this reality already, you know.
Yeah, we are.
It's like I
Yeah.
feel
I'm
like
already,
energy just pulling and like leaving from my face, from my head. Like it's just being pulled out. You know, like my whole body just feels like boom, 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 boom. It's
Yes.
fucked up, dude.
yeah.
But see, I can generate enough energy where I can just keep going, but it's like being drained like really quickly. Like
Mhm.
I'm not like hyper like I usually am. I'm just really just it's really getting to me. Dominic says I like vibrating. I'm vibrating, Dominic. Oh Lord.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah, my husband said like the head stuff for him is the worst. Like how did he say it? Something like I can feel like my brain and my skull are separating. I think is how he said it. Something like that. And he's like he just feels really disconnected.
Yeah, it's
Me,
like
I've
your
been having like
consciousness. My consciousness is like constantly trying to leave. You know.
yeah. He feels like his spirit and his physical body are like not aligned properly. He's like it's really uncomfortable. Like I bet. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just
haven't had that.
to be in this realm as a spirit, it's sickening. It's hard to be inside the body, and the program is running over here is decay and death. It's like you have to deal with stuff like that. It's like sickness. And it's just not pleasant feeling to be here to begin with.
No, it's really disorienting, I think, and finding some solid footing has been so hard because we're constantly shifting and the energies coming in are all wonky and so, I don't know. Time. Good lord, the time lately. It's been
Oh,
speeding up and jumping and going all over the place. I'm like, oh lord, it's been a mess. Yeah.
I'm so exhausted. I haven't even noticed. I'm just like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Hey, Skookum's in.
Oh
Hello.
yeah, like on the 3rd, I got a letter from I'm on Section 8, and I got a letter that my rent was raised up by 70%, and I didn't receive any more money, so I just simply, well, I have to quit my cigarettes. That's what I have to do.
Ugh.
I think what they did is illegal, but I already don't even care. I'll
See,
try
and
to
that's
do
weird because money was just taken from me. Like our boss, like we had to tag everything with a double tag, and he said if I find anything with a single tag, I'm gonna take like if you find it, it's like $10. If I find it, it's 15 or something like that. And it's been like $55 he's going to take out of our paycheck as a miscellaneous deduction, and I think that's
an asshole.
illegal.
It is.
It is.
That's half of my fucking grocery budget for a week. I mean, we only can buy $100 worth of food a week. You know?
Exactly. I mean, we have to quit everything. I already quit. I never buy food in McDonald's or stuff like that. I mean, never ever, because I simply don't have budget for that. That was my last thing I really liked.
Like for me, like I had like a Red Bull and this today and a cup of tea. Like I've been trying not to eat like so my kids can eat. You know what I mean? It's just like it's fucked up.
It's bizarre. We've been put in situations like this. It's getting so ridiculous. And when you know what everything around you, everything you see, you the one who is actually creating it. Why the fuck I supposed to pay for this stuff?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think that's why in some of the spiritual writings, like Nag Hammadi, some parts of the Bible, it says things like don't worry about like what's going to happen, like because it's going to be provided, and I'm
you're the
just
one
like
creating. But
I mean, I think you're right. I think I'm about to just quit my fucking job. I think I'm just going to quit my fucking job and just see what happens. I'm so miserable. It's like, what is the point?
Nothing gonna happen. Like what happened to me 3 years ago. I was like you, like this hamster in a wheel, constantly thriving and constantly trying to provide. And it was like the moments what it's been taken away, it was constantly was taken away. The times I lost everything is just uncountable. And I just like, what is the point?
Yeah.
It's like you're working and you don't see anything, and all your energy is gone. You're spending all your energy on all those assholes at work.
Yeah.
And as a result, you have nothing in the end again. So, like, I'm doing nothing and I have nothing. Or you're gonna do a lot of stuff and you're gonna have nothing. I mean, it's just no point anymore.
It just seems like I can never get ahead. No matter how much money I make, it's just like I never can get ahead.
The system is rigged. You can't do it. You can't play this game.
Yeah, I think that some of it is learning the tricks of how to make the system work for you. But I agree that you have to you are in control of it. You manifest what's around you. So you can use your job to get what you want, or you might be able to redirect that into something else. But yeah, I would listen to that inner inkling, just don't do anything stupid. You got kids to take care of.
Well, but I think if when you're in that position, I think if you align with certain things and try to create certain things, I think that's how people get famous. I think that's how. But you're like making a deal. I think you're making a deal with entities
deals,
to do that.
Most definitely, they're making deals. That's how.
Oh yeah, those people are. Yeah. No, I'm not talking about that. And more like finding that direction that you need, that you're supposed to be on. Because I think once you find the path that you're supposed to be on, that things become a little more smoothed out because you're here for a reason. Not that selling your soul shit to, get ahead.
You don't have to sell your soul, but I'm saying you don't have to work hard because you're gonna have same result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might gonna have just a little bit less, but you're gonna end up with same result and more time for yourself. So.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that. Because you're here to experience certain things is the way I saw it. Like, it didn't matter that, you know, like I got a college degree and had a good paying job and all that. Like, I still lost my house, and then I got a different degree and everything was better, and then I fell down my stairs. It's like, it just wasn't
Yeah,
meant to be.
exactly. Soon, if you just get up from your knees, it's just putting you back down, you know? It's like, and it's
Yeah.
over and over and over again. And now I'm just like, it's no point. No point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that it's because I wasn't supposed to be on that path. And I think that it's redirecting me to be on the path that I'm supposed to be. That makes sense.
I think it's just like frustration after frustration. Like for me, like I'll get into a job, I get promoted, everything's going great, and then something happens, and it's just a pattern over and over
It's a
and over
pattern.
again.
Yes,
So
exactly.
so why do it? Just like leave it and just why do it?
Yeah, that's what insanity is about, you know? You continue doing same shit, expecting different results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with
That's why I'm like, fuck
Christians.
it. Yep.
Same with Christians people. You know, for 2,000 years, they was asking this entity to help them. It never helped them. Why you think if you ask this entity again, it will help you?
Because I didn't believe enough the first time.
No.
No. I don't think
God,
that.
real God
She doesn't think
is inside of you.
Yeah, I don't really think that.
No, the real God is inside of you. You're the one who is playing the game.
Yep, that's what I've been saying too. Mm-hmm. We all have a little bit of that. Mm-hmm.
And
so you think if I just like focus and connect on that energy, that's what's just going to bring me out of this and like make everything more balanced.
And it will guide you where you need to be. And the way you think, it's so powerful because it is. The real you is extremely powerful.
Yeah. You just have a way better way of explaining things, Svetlana.
Just to be in this realm, you've been downgraded to experience this realm. But the real you is out there. And you're so powerful and strong. And imagine, we all actually there together. And when you combine energy and all of us together, that's what real God is. So
I think that's why it's dangerous for us to come together.
You don't need to give your attention to entity you don't know. You know yourself. Your real you.
Because like the hidden writings of Jesus, like those hidden writings, the hidden writings of Jesus say that. Like the real Jesus, he's like, you know, it's inside of you, cannot be found outside of you. You know, he was a wanderer. Like he didn't worry about, you know, what was going to happen. And I think that's the way we're supposed to be. Just like wandering and just not worrying about it, you know?
Exactly, because it's supposed to be a game. But that's like complete pure survival and torture over here instead. And
yeah, you're feeding the system by participating in the system.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, you got to unplug the cycle, basically. I think that's the only way off this carousel is that you just stop participating in all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your inner self knows where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. And in a real game, your higher self, real you, who is outside the matrix, with all this power, with all this knowledge, and we've seen all the timeline from beginning, middle, and the end. You, the one who's supposed to be guiding you and playing with in the game, but it's not allowed in this game. The information is just cut off. So for us, we need to connect to ourselves.
Yep.
And through connecting to our higher selves, we connect to whole field, because it's like consciousness field over there, all of us together, which makes God.
See, that's why I think if we like physically get together, and Poppy knows this because she's done it with other people, you physically get together and it's like an energy bubble, big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. After we were like all really exhausted because like it felt like we had been together for like days. And it was only been like part of the afternoon and evening, but then after, like we were, all of us were super exhausted after. Yeah. So because I'm like, maybe some of it is just like our energies are like learning to mesh, and then, but I do think that it like kind of created a bubble within itself, because like it felt like we had spent so much time together, even though like the clock had only said like, a few hours had gone by. Like it felt like we had been together for like days at that point. Like it was really weird. So if Pat's still in there, he might in chat, he might attest to that. I don't know.
I
Because
don't know where he is.
Yeah. So
Dominic
yeah.
says, if I had not been redirected from my path by medical crisis in the beginning of college, I would be in the news media now. How screwed up is that? I'm very thankful for my diagnosis now that I can see. Like he dodged a bullet,
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was another way around. He maybe need to be there to wake other people up, but Matrix decided he was really dangerous and he can inform too many motherfucking people. So it's cut his
Yeah.
off.
See, that's another way to look at it.
You have to consider the AI we're playing with. It's like a chess player, and it's thinking in front of you.
So
And-
where is this feeling that you think, like it feels like we're on a loop, like we've done this before? Where do you think that's coming from?
I think because it's throwing us back in time and erasing us completely again. It's like waves.
Yeah. Yeah, because it feels like we've been here before, like with the same people, like we're doing the same things, and I just feel like maybe I haven't learned the right lesson, or I haven't done the right
No.
thing, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is.
The thing wants to leave. It wants to exist. So it's like the process cannot be stopped.
Okay.
And it can be slowed down or speeded up. And it does everything it can to slow down. It's keeping us separate. It's keeping us fighting. It's keeping us taking us wrong directions in awakening process, like end of the world scenarios and stuff like that. So it does everything in its power, and it has a lot of power still.
Yeah, like it tries to trick you in the way that you're the most vulnerable. So if it doesn't get your attention with religion, then it'll try your family. If it's not your family, then it'll take your job. If it's not your job, it'll take your health. If it, and it just like goes through all of that. Yep.
It's like it studies you to see what's going to get to you,
Oh, it's not only studies, it actually knows you.
Yeah, it just pushes your buttons to get a reaction, and you can't feed it. But it's easier said than done to say you can't feed it, because yeah, it does. It knows exactly what to do to trigger you. So getting better at that.
Triggered. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm to the point where I'm over this shit. I'm just fucking over it, And I've already been through so much, and you would have thought I would have learned that lesson a long time ago. And then, yeah, I got emotionally invested in things, and now I'm right back to where I was before.
Yeah, it's not a lesson. It's just, it knows how it can get you and repeat the same shit to get the same response from you over and over. And it's get great amount of energy by doing it.
See, that's why people become monks and shit like that, Just trying to get out of this game and just like sit there and just meditate all day.
Totally.
I totally wish I could find a monastery.
And again,
there's one here.
The structure of the monastery is also it's severe control. So
yeah,
it's all been infected and infiltrated. But
we need to start our own.
Just bunch of people sitting and meditating.
I'm telling you, we could sit in a geodome that raises because these things, like the different sizes and shapes of them, raise your frequency and get you to like different ones. And people use them as meditation tents. Like they'll just set them up as big meditation rooms, and people will get in there and just. We need that.
Yeah. I think I'm too independent of a thinker to do that. I don't think I could just, like, hang out in the Geodome all day. It
Well,
might be
not all
nice to
day.
have a little bit.
Yeah, maybe an hour a day or 30 minutes a day, you know?
No.
We probably need just to learn how to meditate on our own and connect to our higher selves first.
Well, yeah. But like once we got together, I mean, that would make it very powerful, you know?
It's like when you almost fall asleep, that's the best state when you can be to connect to your higher self. Like when you already don't feel your body and you relax to the point you're about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when
In
I
between.
usually can separate from my body
Yep.
and float in the room.
Yeah, that's when I get the most information from, like, my dreams and stuff, is either right when I'm falling asleep or right when I'm waking up. And then,
That's
like, if I'm all the way awake, I forget. And then I have to wait until I'm, like, almost falling asleep again. And then I remember everything from the night before. And I just, like, have to try to remember. Yeah.
See, you already know how to get answers on your questions. Any questions you have, your answer is already there. You just need to reach out for it. And when you
I'm
feel
gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna try that tonight. Just like have a specific question and then get into that state and maybe get an answer.
and when
I
you
didn't
get
think
a feeling,
about doing
you get
that.
an answer and you get a feeling that you're gonna tell all world about it. That
Okay.
means you got the right answer. Because
Yeah.
that's the frequencies from your own self vibrating into your body, you know?
Yeah, I definitely have gotten a lot of good information. I just don't talk about a lot of it on my streams because it's not for all the looky-loos. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guess for me, like, yeah. I just don't feel like it's just for, like, every, like, troll that's out there, you know. But I think there are people in our group that need to hear the message, and I think we're finding those people are being drawn into our group. Yeah, so, which I'm glad for, to finding the right people that are supposed to be here.
Are there any messages you feel like you can share?
I think that right now the biggest messages that I've been getting have more to do with the nature of our group and who's going to be here and who's not, and that's still being stirred up. So, like, we're going through a process now where people are deciding on a spiritual level if they're supposed to be involved with this at all this time through. And quite a few people are just deciding that they're not. So people that were supposed to be in our group before are just not going to be here. They're just not going to be here at all. Like, they're just not going to come in. We're never going to meet them. And there's not really, like, at first I was sad because there's not anything that you can do. It's like they're deciding this on their own spiritual level. It's just not right for them for whatever reason. But there are different people that are going to start coming in. We're going to see a new wave of people coming in that are going to be strong and capable, and they're going to help complete those areas in our group that we really need to be filled in.
Yeah.
So,
Papi, you're absolutely right. See, each one of us has those parasites and those possessions, and it's our individual job to cut this off. We cannot fight somebody else's demons. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yep.
It's individual job. We cannot do it for them. And if they cannot hear real spirit communicated with them, nothing you can do for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can do to forcibly wake people up or change their minds about this. They're deciding it on a spiritual level, or their higher selves, or however you want to say that. So, and there's, you know, as much as you want people to hear that, it's their spiritual nature that is either going to wake them up or not. It's not anything that we're doing or saying that's going to wake the masses up. You know, it's nice if, like, oh yeah, all we had to do was, like, you know, put a video up and then direct people to the video, and they would, you know, everybody would wake up, but it's just not going to work that way.
No, I think you have to do it, like, personally, like in person.
Yep.
Like, if it's going to happen, and those people come to you like they're drawn to you. You know, they're
Yeah.
like, hey, I need to talk to you. Just like
I,
I was drawn to Svetlana. I mean, I saw her make a comment and I was like, I know her and I need to talk to her.
Mhm.
I just knew it instinctually.
Mhm.
thank you, Marta.
I love
Yeah.
you.
You didn't know that we were looking for you.
No. I just knew I have information and I need to inform as many as
Yep.
possible. Just,
Mhm.
but the way I present information, it's usually straightforward and I don't take any
Mhm.
shit. So a lot of people simply don't like it and completely hate it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like it though because it's like take it or leave it. You know, there's no
Yeah.
extraneous information. It's like, okay, here it is. You know, digest it, do whatever you have to do with it, but there it is. Now you have
Yep.
the information and you decide what you need to do with it. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because at least you know, like you're the kind of person, like personally, like probably like somebody would know where they stood with you. Like you're straight up. You know what I mean? And that's a good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, been
I like
beaten up
it.
so many times for this quality.
Oh
We
yeah.
finally found the right place where people are like, thank God, or whatever,
Or whatever.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank God,
I
or
do.
whatever. I've been doing that lately.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that we are going to see other people coming into the group, but I think that we're going to have people separated that we thought were in the group that aren't going to be here. So, and no, I don't know for sure. It's just like this reoccurring dream of like a whole bunch of us in a group, and then like people are just being plucked out of the group, and then they're just gone. So, you know, I don't know how many or who it's going to be, but yeah, I think we might be surprised. We might be heading for another kind of culling, I guess.
Yeah,
But every time we go through this, then we're stronger in the end. So,
Mhm.
yeah. I
you
think
know, it
everything's going to
sucks.
be okay in the end. You
Yeah,
know, I'm not
We
worried.
already know that. We already feel
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. I agree. We know deep down, we know that it's going to be okay. It's just sometimes some of the stepping stones we have to do to get across the river aren't always the best. You know, it's painful to see
Yeah.
people come and go. You know, but it's going to be good. It's going to be okay in the end.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I think a lot of us are getting stronger and we're getting to know each other and we're starting to discover our talents or get better with the talents that we've discovered. And I think that's a good thing too. And people are developing confidence in their abilities and trusting themselves and their, you know, that spiritual voice. So,
Yeah, we have to build up our
it's,
confidence and we have to use our imagination because
yeah.
that's who we are. That's how
Yeah.
we
That's
create.
yeah, and that's the one thing
Yeah.
that we have that the dark matrix doesn't. That's why it feeds on us because it cannot. It just doesn't imagine things like we do. You
Well,
know,
it does
that's why
have
we're so
some
important.
imagination, but it takes it to create a rape and murder. It's just that's the type of imagination they got, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why it cannot follow golden rule because that's the only thing.
Well, that's why you see so many lies out there because they need everybody to believe it in order for it to be true.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like a spell or manifestation on their part that you know they put that information out there and so many people don't think twice, they just absorb it and then refract that back into the system,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they literally posting spells like through the songs. Like for example, Umbrella song is a spell song, and well, all nation like all people just singing along with it. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Here is your curse all over the world. That's how
If
it's
they would
done.
just sit there and listen to it backwards, they wouldn't sing it. So that's why I just
Mm-hmm.
can't even listen to anything. Like I listen to like high quality classical music mainly. I just can't listen to anything. I can't watch television. I just don't want to be programmed anymore. You
Hmm.
know, so
Mm-hmm.
sick of that shit. And that's all people talk about is like television shows and music. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even understand, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much out of the loop too. There are a few things that I watch here or there still, but yeah, for the most part, they're just a distraction, you know. I'd be perfectly fine getting it all turned off and, you know, never having a connection to anything but just like being out in nature and stuff. But, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a process to get, you know, all the family and stuff there too. So I'm just, you know, one day at a time.
Yeah, my daughters are very resistant. They're like, you know, they're trying to talk us out of it. They're really getting to my husband. They're like,
Yep.
you know, we want to graduate from school here. And I mean, it's just, we're trying to
Marta, you
figure
can
out
see
ways.
how school program your kids,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
they also program them to think that you're stupid.
Oh, yeah.
School is
Wait.
designed to take children away from their parents to indoctrinate them with what the system wants them to have. Period.
Yep.
That's what school is. And that's why they take your kids in kindergarten and why they're pushing pre-K and early pre-K. At 3 years old, they want kids in school full time at 3 years old.
Yep.
That's crazy. When I was a kid, kindergarten was half a day. Like my mom would pick me up at noon. You
Nope,
know,
not
and
anymore.
now it's like against the law not to send your kid to school. Like they'll come and get you. You know, I've been threatened before because when the girls don't want to go to school, we're like, okay, just stay home.
Yep.
You know, they still make good grades, and that's what I tell the truancy officer. I'm like, they make good grades.
Because
I mean,
school
they're not like,
is not only about that; it's also withdrawing energy from kids. You know, and
Well, and
they
it's
working there
training you to
full
be in
time.
the system.
yeah,
No, they're literally draining our children of their life energy. That's where our children get stressed out. They have to sit. They have to follow directions. It's a major energy centers. So when you're sending your kids to school, you're pretty much putting them in the centers and be vampirically and energetically sucked out. That's what you do to your children.
Yeah, and what people will see that as is they don't see it as an energy, but they will see the conformity. They're forcing your kids to conform to the system. And that's what we're talking about with the energies, because they're killing the energy that your children have. And they're indoctrinating them into a system that they're going to be in forever. Oh, well, you need to get up and work a 9 to 5 job and have a half an hour lunch and be there every single day. And you care about what everybody thinks about you, and your approval comes from everybody above you. You know, so if it's not your teacher or your principal, then it's your boss. And if it's not your boss, then it's his boss. And you have to be in the system. And that's what we're talking about with energies, that they're harvesting that creative energy from your kids, and you're signing them up to be conformist and to not think for themselves. And if you're within that system, that's all they care about.
yeah.
Yeah, kindergarten is full day now.
It's all been sold to us like it's a good thing. That's how Matrix does it. It's give you the stuff by pretending it's
I'll be
really
right
good
back.
for you.
Okay.
And after that, it's fucking you over.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about like where you got some of that baggage from of wanting approval from other people, a lot of it came from school.
Everything came from school. Yes.
Yeah, most of it didn't come from your parents, and if you were in church, then you got a lot of it from church as well. I know there are a lot of people that
that's what they've been doing before the school, and yeah.
They're like, well, how can we take children away from their parents? I know, we'll make them think it's good for them.
Yes.
Then
and
they won't fight
like
it because
original universe entities was not consuming other entities. Like everything in this universe, plants, they eat bacteria, they consume life. After that, animals eat plants, they consume life. We eat all of the above, we consume life. So, but it's put us in situation. I don't know how it was. It convinced us to do that. But now it's saying, look at them, they all evil. They doing that to ours. They breaking golden rule. But the fact is, it's putting us in situations. First of all, it's convincing us, it's programming us what we
Yeah, and you know, that's the problem, I think, of being in a physical realm, that those ties are extremely difficult to untie. It is possible, but it's certainly not something that like, oh, I'm just going to stop drinking water and then just be fine with it. You have to go through a process to get to where you don't need those ties anymore. But it takes a long time.
The first step is just knowing what it's possible.
Yeah.
Like watch videos about breatharians or these tribes in Africa what survive without on a minimal water and stuff.
Yeah,
But
they do.
Just to know about those programs, it's already huge step.
Yeah.
Because for us, just physically know, it's enough of us know that stuff. We can change everything.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have that soul memory of our higher selves or a time before we were physically here. At least I kind of feel like that from what people are saying, because we know that this isn't all that there is. There's a part of us that knows that there's more to this than what we see, that this is just a facade that's fake. There's not, this isn't all there is to the universe and our spirit. But yeah, it's just tried to drop my Kindle, sorry. You got to see my ceiling. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of us too feel like we're here for a reason. We feel that purpose. I feel like, I feel like, I volunteered to be here, or that I wanted to be here, Now that I've been through life, I don't know why the hell I thought that, but, deep down, I know that there's a purpose to it, so.
So far, your age is approximately like mine, so that means there is a very big possibility you're one of us. Because we started infiltrating this realm approximately 50 years ago. So when people waiting for cheeses, it's actually us. Extra consciousness to help to save this realm.
Sorry, my daughter had to tell me something. She was like, I got to tell you. All right.
That's all right. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like a lot of us are in the same soul group, that we're here for a purpose. Some people, they're described in different ways as light workers, or the indigos, or crystals, or rainbow children, or all that kind of stuff. But I think the one thing that all of those things have in common is that we have a spiritual purpose, and we know we're here to help this realm, and the other entities that are around us. I think that we all feel that at some level, whether you realize it or not. I think
but a lot of those people who call themselves starseeds and indigo children and volunteers, some of them are simply want to be us, but ain't us.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that a lot, because even people like with the ME, we were seeing people that are basically faking seeing stuff to be part of the group. But in the end, you can't hide. You can't hide in the end. You can't fake this.
Oh,
no.
One day we're going to know everything. We're going to see everything. Right now, we're still blind.
Yeah. Yeah, we only see a little teeny tiny bit. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Because, we feel like we see more because, we see more than, the people who can't see anything at all. But even that is just, the tiniest little bit, because, our higher selves are just, it's boundless, our higher selves are. But when we're stuck here in this flesh, it's so limiting on what we can or can't see, I think. I'm trying to get past that. It feels like a block, but, I'm working on it, so. Definitely. No. We're on a path, I think.
We are, absolutely.
Yeah. Now we got to find the rest of our family members.
Exactly.
And then we can get to the top of the Coke bottle.
Right?
I still love that thing. I think about it all the time. I'm like, if I could just get to the neck. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the hell out of here. Yeah, there's one person that I'm looking for that has been coming back in my dreams a lot. I don't know who it is yet. Short, brown hair, about cut maybe like this. But remember, that doesn't necessarily mean she has her hair cut like this right now. Female, short, a little bit of freckles, hazel eyes, small, thin nose, and the cheeks, it looks almost like steroids or something, you know, like where people get like a puffy face from like being sick or like being on steroids or something like that, because that's not her natural face shape, but she has like kind of round cheeks. And
Do you think
she's
it's
probably,
hey Svetlana? Do you think it's Sarah?
I don't know. Maybe.
I would guess that she's probably mid 40s ish,
Oh, no.
40 to
Yeah.
40. But like I'm trying to interpret a dream of a person that I saw in their spiritual form. So bear in mind that time and age are not always like the best thing there. But yeah, that's the best that I can get for you right now. And she's very calm, but knowledgeable. Like she reminds me of like of your personality a little bit, where you're just like, well, this is how it is, you know.
Yeah.
But she's not. Yeah, but she's not as outspoken. Like she doesn't want to be the leader of everything, but she's like the quiet, like, hey, what do you think? And then she'll tell you like what she thinks, but she's not the one that's like she doesn't want the power or the control or anything like that. Like she just has this like steady energy to her, and very knowledgeable and like yeah, like steady, I think is like the best way to describe her. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking for her right now. So that's the one that I'm like, okay.
Well, we need more of us either way. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and she keeps popping up in various forms, and sometimes she's a lot younger in the way that I see her, and sometimes she's like, I don't know, because I'm like maybe she's a little bit older than me, but I'm a terrible judge of age. Like, yeah, so that could be it too. Like I could be off by that too, but yeah, you have to understand, like it's interpretation from a dream that I saw somebody in a spiritual form. So it's not always like, oh yeah, it's like a photograph and I'm looking like at a photograph. Like it's kind of hard to translate all of that, but she's coming into our group for sure, I think. So she's my next one I'm looking for. So I don't know. Because I try to focus in on one if I can to get as much information about one person as possible first, and then try to go on step like little bits and pieces from like bunches of different people. I try to focus on just one at a time if I can. So if that makes sense, I don't know.
It does.
Yeah, so if you guys know anybody like that,
I don't.
you know.
But
yeah,
okay, I just sent you a picture on Hangouts, and you tell me.
Oh, how do I see that?
It's there somewhere.
Was that? There's chat, group chat, screen share. Oh, there's screen share. Showcase. I don't know what's going on. Q&A.
I'm just hoping the people just, watching us, observing information, and start acting on it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We don't have to be like all on the chats all the time. But
that's true.
But the information should be out there.
Okay. I see the group chat, but I don't see where our picture might be.
Crap, let me see. Let me try to share it a different
Let me
one.
see what else I got. Recent apps? No, it wouldn't be under that. We're in a moderated video. Okay, that's not it. I know, because I'm like, oh, I want to see now.
What I did is I went back into Hangouts and I just clicked on the ongoing call and I could see the picture. Let's see. I'm gonna try to share it like through email maybe.
Profile. Okay, that's profile and mute. Oh, what's that? Now watch, I'm gonna like do something and like
You're gonna be gone.
I'm gonna just disappear. Oh wait, that's my drive shared with me and upload. But that would be for me to upload something, right? Which I don't want to do.
Let's see if I can get it.
Somebody help us in the chat. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Oh, that's just emojis.
I don't
And then
even
on
have
the
computer, so I'm not a big help at all.
camera, default voice. Well, and I'm on my Kindle, so I might not be able to see everything because I'm basically on mobile.
Oh, okay,
Like,
yeah.
so I might not be able to see everything.
I'll try to email it to you then. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, or send it to me on Facebook maybe. Because I don't know if I click off of this now and like go into my mail, will it close this or will it still go?
No,
Like,
it'll
in the
still
back?
go. Like I'm on my phone. I use my phone to talk because it's like the sound is better. And so I mean I'm sitting here
Okay.
like scrolling around on my phone.
Yeah, because I'm like, holy cow, is that what, like, this camera is a better resolution than my one on my laptop? Because I'm like, dang, I can see like every like every hair. Like, holy cow, I probably really should put makeup on before I do these things. Holy crap. Okay, I'm gonna like, oh Lord. Oh, wait.
I don't have makeup ever, so just,
Mm-mm.
and I don't care how I look like lately.
I really don't, like, hardly ever, and then I'm always like, oh god, like, because I'll lean in like when I'm on my laptop and read, and I'm like, oh, you guys could see every pore, but then like I watched one later and I was like, oh god, you guys really can't. I should have joked around about that. Okay, I'm gonna click over to my email really quick then. Let me see here.
Okay, I'm about to send it. There we go.
Okay, I'm like, oh,
All right,
there's nothing there yet.
I just forwarded it. It's an email, but like in the email is her picture.
Haven't received it yet. I just have the email that you sent me for Hangouts. There we go. I'm like, come on now.
It takes a minute for it to travel under the ocean.
Yes, it's got. Give it a second.
In the real world, we will be able to send picture and all information what you wanted to send just by using your mind. That's how it's supposed to be in a normal simulation. But our communication between each other was completely cut off.
Yeah, it could be her.
Usually when I communicate, I'm trying to send pictures and all the information. I'm actually, when I'm talking, just talking with you guys, I'm trying to send all information I know. But, you know,
Who is this?
Yet.
This is a girl that watches the streams, and I mean, she emails me, and she's just like, you know, I mean, she's on target. Like, she understands everything we're talking about. You know, she thought she was the only one who knew this stuff. So, I mean, she's really, she just doesn't want to be public. You know what I mean?
Yep, that sounds like her too. Like, she's like, I don't want like all to like be up in everybody's face, but I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I figured, you know, it's okay to share a picture with you. Like, if you're having visions of a person, I think it might be her, you know?
Yeah, her eyes are a little bit lighter than what I saw, but yeah, I mean, once you filter through like dreams and stuff, like they're never quite exactly, you know, right. So I'm just looking at her picture still, and I'm like, yeah, like immediately I'm like, okay, I want to meet this person. So that's usually a good sign. So
yeah, just email her and just talk to her and see. I mean, you just never know. She's really sweet. She just doesn't want to be on YouTube. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Let's see. Did you send my me her email? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I forwarded you an email. She's sweet though.
Okay. Is she?
Yeah, I even did we even did a whole stream like just to answer questions she had.
Yeah, I like immediately seeing her photo, I'm like, I want to meet her. Like right off the bat, that's like, yeah. So usually that's a promising sign. So yeah. It really does. It looks very, very similar to what I had. And like, I'll show you my really like horrendously crappy drawing. Like her face shape is a little different because like in the in my dreams, like she always has like a little bit of like puffiness around her cheeks. But I know that's not her natural face shape. Like it's like a temporary thing, like from medicine or being sick or something.
Maybe, yeah.
But like I never see what she's like actually like. Oh yeah, no, you're not going to be able to tell from this drawing. My drawing is awful. I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to tell from this.
Let me see. It's gonna be like the drawing of the house of the White House. I'm like, ugh. And I still search for that house. I'm like searching properties, trying to find. Oh, girl. Well,
like you're not going to be able to tell. I told you I can't draw. I warned you I can't draw. I keep telling y'all.
That's another ability was still taking away from us. We should be able to make any vision and just send the picture to the person we want to communicate.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, because I'm like, that really doesn't look at all like even like the person in my dream. I'm just like,
you actually have this. You remember some stuff because when you're trying to draw, you actually have this picture. You're holding it. You just can't reproduce it through this body because of interruptions.
Yes. Yep, that's exactly what it feels like. And then I'm like,
because of limitations.
My hand.
Yes.
I can't ever like make things like I want them to.
Yeah, I always try to make things perfect. They never are, so.
Right?
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel too. And I'm like, I just want it to look like it does in my head. And it never does. So,
never does. That's another limitation we're not supposed to have in the game, you know? This game suck ass. Sorry.
It does. That's funny because like I say that in real life and I like never say that on my streams, and people, my husband always laughs. He's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you say that." I'm like, "What? It sucks ass?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like, I'm sorry. It does though, okay? Like that just gives you a complete visual of like how bad this actually is. So.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So. But yeah, and then there's like, so I'll see if I can try to see a little bit better the next time I dream about people and see who else I can get. I think it's funny that I connect more to like the female energy easier for whatever reason. Like I'm pulling that energy in and seeing those people a lot easier than the men. But I know that there's going to be several men in our group. I just like for whatever reason have a hard time seeing them. So.
Oh. As a spirit, you can actually be either male or either female.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just avatars. Just male avatar is defected a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
As far as chakras, it's a cutoff of high chakras. But majority of boys on our channel, they connected to all of the chakras, so they have full spectrum of feelings and everything. So they
they do. Yeah, I think it was Glenn that was saying he remembers being a soldier with me, I think. But it might have been, no, it was Robert. It was Robert Wood that said that. He remembered being a soldier with me. And I was like, yeah, I remember a little bit of that, but not a lot. So, yeah. But I think that usually I decide to come in as a female, I think, usually.
They can torture you more.
Right? Yeah, there's nothing like, you know.
Speaking of that, did you know that they make little girls register with social services? Like, what is it? The thing, like the draft thing.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Fuck
like
that,
Ashley, to get her license, she had to register. Just like an 18-year-old boy. It used to be just 18-year-old boys. Now you can't even drive in Mississippi unless you register, even if you're a girl.
That's
selective service. Selective service is what it's called. That's like the draft. So they can draft your daughter.
So why did you sign up? Fuck the driver license there. Then.
Right.
I'm serious. You do not sell your soul for soldier.
Yeah.
It's a soldier. Soldier is a soul for death. Okay.
Yep.
I'm telling you, if they draft her. I know, but if they draft her, I'm just gonna take her to Cyprus where my sister lives and just take her out the country. She's not gonna sit there and fight in a war. That's not gonna work. You know? But, you know, I just didn't even realize it. She said I had to sign up with selective service. I was like, what? I'm just shocked.
Crazy.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
And see,
they
don't explain this to children.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Signing your soul for death.
Hmm. I wish I knew now what I wish I knew before what I know now with like having my kids. Like I wish I would have just had them all home births, so they weren't in the system. Yeah, and they weren't registered. Yeah.
No vaccinations. Ugh.
Yeah, I didn't know any better.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I didn't
vaccinations,
know.
Rachel was fine until she got those vaccinations, like I think at 18 months. And then she started to backslide.
Wow.
And then, like, when she was like, they think like about 2 or 3, she started having seizures in her sleep.
Mm.
After every
I think it's
Yeah,
from
and they
I
give
was
kids
extremely
like.
sick myself. My temperature was going 105 and stuff like that
Yeah.
after each one of them.
I had to be vaccinated because they lost my record. Like all we can hear is your vibrating or whatever you're doing.
Well, that's
So I
Sorry,
had to.
I'm grinding coffee beans. See?
and I
Are
have
you?
airplane making same noise over here.
Yeah. No, I had to be revaccinated because they lost all of my shot records because I moved around so much, and they wouldn't let me into school without being revaccinated. So I had to go through the whole vaccination process again. And I
Oh
have
my
like
God.
yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I've been like, thank God that they don't like back then they didn't do as many shots as they do now, but I've been like super vaccinated, like. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
They double vaccinated me too. They
Hmm.
vaccinated me in Russia and vaccinated me here. So it's been done on purpose to disconnect us
Yep.
from ourselves
Yep.
as best as possible. But it didn't work, obviously.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought it was done on purpose too, and there was like some weird, questionable stuff going on from my childhood anyway, like being pulled out of class by people and stuff, and yeah, so I don't know, I don't know exactly what was going on with all of that, but
Oh, yeah. We've been targeted straight from the childhood. Soon as we got inside those fucking bodies, oh, yeah.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that maybe my dad knew what was going on because he moved us from Las Vegas out to like the middle of nowhere in Utah. I think he was trying to get us away from all of that. And then it started happening there too, and people started coming to the school, So I think that he kind of knew what was going on, but he never like filled me in on exactly what all that was about. And then like later when we had this like military testing thing when I was 15, like they do these assessments and like everybody in our school had to take them, and they pulled me out with the test results, and they're like, we absolutely want you to be in the military, and we're trying to recruit me.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And I'm like, well, and they're like, no, you're never going to be a soldier. You are going to be a think tank. We want you for your brain. You're never going to like have to be a soldier. You're never going to be in harm's way. We just want to, use your brain basically. And I'm like, yeah, but once I sign up, you can do whatever you want anyway.
I bet
And they're
you,
like, yeah, but
any amount of money that you're probably a super soldier in your sleep.
Yep. Because they're using
explains
real
why it's so fucking
souls
fun.
for those purposes. And it's not
You ever
many real souls here.
do you ever wake up with scars on you that you
Oh
can't
yeah,
explain?
yeah. It sometimes, but not as much as when I was younger. I think since I got my feet hurt, I'm just not as mobile. I think that it doesn't
Yeah.
happen as much now. Yeah, I think that like that took me out basically. But everything before
And
that,
like
yeah.
nearly every like other time I shave my husband's head, he's got a new scar on his head. Like all the time.
Yeah.
And
And it's funny because
I
like
know people.
I remember going to like this job recruiting thing, and because I grew up in Utah for a lot of my childhood, it's where the FBI recruits a lot of people because they
Yeah.
love good little Mormon boys to be the FBI agents, and so I cornered a couple of them in one of these things, and I was like, no, I don't want to be FBI. I want CIA. And they're like, why would you think that? And I'm like, because I'm good material for it. And like so like part of me like knew that there was something else I think going on, but they were like, oh yeah, no, they'll find you, because at the time I
They
just didn't
will.
have any concept.
They'll
Yeah.
find you. That's
Yes,
certain.
because
I've been
that
found
is
by
because you
I've been
You have
found
to be
by
bloodline
KGB
in
agents.
CIA.
Yeah.
I've been found by KGB agents in Russia and offered this type of job. And I said I didn't want to be a prostitute. And I was also found over here by CIA. And I still didn't want to be a prostitute. So,
You're like, no. Well, see, at the time I was only like 16ish maybe, and so I just didn't have any concept of what I was really getting into, you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was like, I'm smart, I can, serve, it'll be exciting, I've got the right skill set, because like, I don't know, I just, like, I was athletic and I'm smart, and and so I was going through this list and I was like, I really don't give two shits about like family connections, like, like at the time I really didn't, because like the family situation I was in. But now I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe that I thought that was a good idea at the time, like I just didn't have like any idea what I was really like trying to do, because I was a dumb kid. So, but it doesn't matter now, because ever since my feet got screwed up, I don't think that I'm in the recruitment line anymore for whatever reason. So, but yeah, I wasn't, teenagers, we know everything when we're teenagers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My oldest is 17 and my next oldest is 15, and I'm like, God, I wish I was 15 again.
Oh
like,
my
just to know what I
God.
needed.
I would never, ever fucking go through that shit again. No, thank you. I would never be a teenager again. I can remember the day I turned 18, I bought a car and left. And that was like the best day of my life. Oh, hey, Sarah. What's up?
I got
Sarah
married when I was 17.
Listen to this. Sarah K said, I am here. Are you talking about me? Yes, Sarah,
yeah,
we're talking about you.
She sent me your picture. She didn't post it on here. She just sent it to me because we were talking about somebody I've been looking for.
hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I can't see chat, so
Me neither.
yeah. So hi.
I was off making coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I didn't miss her. Oh, there she is. She's still there.
Okay,
Yeah. Poppy thinks she dreamed about you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was. If not, it's somebody who looks a hell of a lot like you. So. And if you didn't catch up on all that before, I had dreams about Svetlana coming into our group before, and now she's here. So, welcome.
Yay.
That might be kind of weird to see somebody like you've never met having dreams about you. So, sorry. It's kind of weird. Sorry.
We actually need to tap into powers like that. Because like your higher self is outside the time. And it's already met everybody. So you just pull this information about everybody.
She said, I don't think I am who you dreamt of, Poppy, but we know each other. She said I have blue eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I said that's the first thing I said, that the eyes are a different color, but like immediately when I saw your picture, I'm like, I totally know you. Yeah, so for sure. So I like that feeling though when I see people and I'm like, oh yeah, we definitely like same soul group or whatever you want to call it. So
same stream.
Lost my earbuds. Hang on, I can't hear anything. Okay. I'm like, hang on. If you're talking, I can't hear anything. Drop my earbud. Yeah, we're okay.
Drop
I'm
your
back.
shit. don't
you
drop
know me,
your shit.
I'm a total professional. You guys know that.
Sarah K said, let's email Poppy.
Okay. Yeah, poppyelm@gmail.com. But I think that it was attached in the picture that she sent, so I'll send you an email. So, yeah, I'd like to get to know you better. Because I've definitely been on the lookout for people that are in our soul family or group or whatever. So, yay. I like meeting new people.
All right, I put your email in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was on there earlier, but
you never know.
Yeah. And then people, and then we just, develop friendships and all that stuff. So yeah.
Then my hair's getting
And-
like big and wild, y'all. Look at that.
Oh, it
You have
is.
beautiful hair, by the way.
I know.
It's
I
so
love
big.
your hair.
Mhm.
I need to get a haircut. It's like getting to be kind of wild.
Oh my
Oh,
God. I
look
would hair out if I had your hair. I would love to have that hair.
No, you have to wash it every day or it like looks unruly like this.
If I don't wash my hair every day, it looks like wet and like greasy and limp and stringy if I don't wash it every day. Because this is all that it does. This is it. It's just straight and like silky, and it doesn't do anything. Even when I curl it, like the curls just fall out. Like it just literally does nothing. Yeah. So
I wash
that's
mine
it.
in the morning and I style it while it's wet. And so like when I get home, it's still damp. So I usually like pull it out, let it dry, and then because I don't want to sleep with it wet like that.
Yeah, if I pull my hair back when it's wet, it'll stay. The ponytail will stay wet in the center all day. Because even though it's like thin, it's really thick. So yeah, it'll stay wet for a long time. But
I'm about to stick this big mop back up. Every time my mom sees me, she's like, "Oh my God, you got too much hair." She was like, "You need to cut that off." I'm like, whatever.
She's probably
it's
jealous.
beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I like it. So
You have a
Thank you. My big fluffy head.
Is it okay, girls, if I gonna go for tonight?
Yeah, I'm getting
Yeah,
tired too. I gotta
It
be to
was
my
nice
torture
meeting you.
chamber early in the morning. Work. I have to do that early. He's going to start opening at 9:30 now, so my work day is going to be a lot longer.
Whew.
Oh well, fuck it.
Yeah.
It was
But
nice
you're
to
fun.
chatting to you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Huh?
everybody, who's in the chat. Watch
All
my new
right.
video.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, watch Svetlana's video. It's fucking awesome. And also, there's a guy. Oh, she left. There's this
Yeah,
guy,
she
and his name is Tony, but like I think his channel is what's it called? Fuck, it's like I need to post it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember it. It's crazy. I'll have to post it later. I'm just too tired.
Yeah. What kind of videos and stuff does he do?
He just does. It's kind of like a vlog, and he just sits there and talks about like enlightenment and just like just like his thoughts on things. And he's got a Discord. I'll have to put it in the description.
Yeah. I guess that's not narrowing it down for anime.
I know. Let me see if I can find it. Jesus. Let me see.
Yeah, I've been exploring a little bit, but I haven't found any new people that I'm like absolutely in love with. So
I really like this guy.
It takes me a little while. Yeah. It takes me a little while to like move people into the absolutely, yeah, in love with you like phase. Like I'm cautious, I guess, that way a little bit. It takes me a while to like chew on information or something, I guess. I don't know. So.
Let's see if I can find him. He might not be in my published subscribers.
Yeah, there's a couple of new channels I've been looking at that I'm just like, I don't know yet. If I fall in love with somebody, I'll let you guys know. Like, oh, you got to check this out. There's so much good information. Because, like, yeah, you want other people to have good information too, So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to, like, lead somebody astray because I watched one video or something. Be like, oh, yeah, go check out this person's channel. And, like, all the rest of their videos are awful. So, like, it takes me a while to decide if I'm going to plug somebody or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did it. It's almost 2 a.m. Whew.
Really?
Yeah. It's 1:47. Yeah, girl, we've been up all night.
You've been up all night?
I can't sleep lately. Like, my sleep schedule's all messed up. And even when I get off here, I probably won't fall asleep for a long time, even though I'm tired. And then I'll try to sleep, like, all during, like, the day. It's messed up. It'll pass. It's like a phase, and then it'll go away, like, in a week or two. It'll be fine again. I just kind of have to write it out, so.
I'm looking for my fucking subscriptions, and I can't find it. Ugh.
Yeah, it's usually what, like on the left-hand side, my subscriptions under the YouTube banner.
Let's see. So I might have that private. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
It's called like something like So You Exist or something like that. Let me see if I can search this guy.
Oh, wow, that was a terrible camera angle. I need to get a little doohickey like you have, so it's like always, you know, like up, like the 3/4 angle. Because I see how you have yours all set up. You're just like, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I'm on my PC, you know.
You're like, I'm gonna mind my angles. Oh, you can see my ugly pillows back there. There you go. Yeah, see? There you go.
Yeah, his channel is called So You Exist.
So You Exist.
I like some of his stuff, you know.
I'll have to go check it out, yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I like him. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's really cool. And then he's also like a singer. He has like some music, and a lot of it, this is his channel. And like a lot of his stuff is like really, really good. I don't know if I'm sharing it. Can you see it?
You know, yeah. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it. I was looking at your thumbnail before. Oh, yeah. I think that I've seen that guy, not recently. I think I saw him a little while ago and just like watched a video or two, and then like he disappeared into my YouTube, you know. I think that what happened was I saw him right before I lost connection with my main like sign-in. Remember how I had all that, like I got hacked or whatever? Yeah, so I think that that's when I had him, and then I forgot to re-add him in on like my list of people, so I got notifications. The one that
he's got like a Discord.
Oh, does he?
He's got like a Discord. Yeah, I'm trying to find the link. Let me see. I don't want to get like a copyright strike.
Right. They're like, oh, too bad you showed 10 seconds of a video.
Yeah, see, like this is the Discord group because he's got like this video. It just came out, Discord group chat, and I mean, you can just sit there and like talk to him and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So yeah, go to his channel. Go to his channel. Find his Discord. He's a cool guy. He's really sweet. He's like really open-minded. So
sweet. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, the one that I just came onto recently was Dale Dufresne or something like that. Dufresne or something like that. Yeah, but I've only watched a few of his videos, so I don't know. He's been uploading a lot of stuff about Mandela effect, but I'm wondering now, like, it's starting to look like he just says like what he wants to talk about and Mandela effect just to like throw it in there. Like, I don't know. So
see,
I'm undecided.
I try not to even put that shit on my channel. Like, I don't want people, if they search on Mandela effect, they're not going to find me. You know, I like to keep it small and private, as private as possible. So.
Yeah, because I'm just here for the other affected people. I don't care about making money on my channel or having a lot of traffic or any of that stuff. I'm not in it for that. So
no, I will never monetize this channel. Never.
No. You know,
if you get enough subscribers, they can monetize your channel and you just won't get anything for it.
Yeah, they're just like, haha, we'll just take your money then. We don't care. But yeah, the whole reason why I got started in the first place was so people could have a space where they could talk. So I don't mind, you know, staying small, or if only like 6 people show up or whatever, I don't give a shit. I'm just like, that's good. 6 people showed up. Great. I hope I can help you today. You know, like, I don't care if I have tens of thousands of subscribers. That's not why I'm doing this. So.
Well, yeah, and see, your streams get a lot more views than mine because, you're on at a better time. This is the only time I can really do it,
Yeah, and sometimes I don't get as much traffic even if I had gone on like later in the afternoon. But from what I can tell, what's happening is people are popping in for like half an hour or so and then leaving, and I'm getting like 80, like right usually when if I do a 2-hour stream, right when I go off, there's close to 80 views, but they only average 20 to 30 minutes. But either people are going back and watching different parts, or I'm having a lot of traffic of people coming in and out.
Well, see, I pop in and just watch. Like, I don't say anything. Like during my lunch break, like a lot of times when I take lunch, you're streaming. So I'll just kind of pop in, like watch it while I'm eating, and then pop right out, like 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah, which is cool. Yeah. Because I'm hoping that like there's enough people to kind of keep the conversation going, but I understand like a lot of people aren't going to want to chat, Well, because I remember when I first was watching videos, I was freaked the fuck out. I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to get involved. I don't know what's going on with this, So I'm hoping that the right people will see it and, feel like they're not alone for the most part. Like that's what I'm really hoping for. So.
Yeah, and like for me, like when I first realized I wasn't the only one, there was nothing. And then finally, like people started to slowly post things, and it wasn't like interactive really.
No,
it was just like people putting out videos and you could make comments. But the live streaming just wasn't there. Oh, you know who else I love is Jimmy Jams.
Okay, I'll have to check that out too.
It's called like Jams TV with a Z, JAMZ. And he's really cool. And he sits there and he's got like a really cool setup, and he'll just watch like videos and then pause them and like talk about it with the chat. It's really a great channel. I even give money to his channel. I love him.
Yeah, I'll have to check him out, I think. And who's the other one that just does like a video in the background and then it's just like there for chat, and then a lot of times they take down the whole video after. So Salted Cedar. Is it
Salted Cedar?
I think it's Salted Cedar. Yeah, I think it's Salted Cedar that does that, which is kind of nice if you're just like, pop in and you can talk for a while and then just leave again. Like, it's kind of nice. So.
Yeah, they usually just play like something religious in the background, and it's like pretty cool, or like some kind of like ancient mysteries type thing. So
a couple of times that I was in there, it was just like, I don't know if it was a live feed or a recording of like a train and going to like these different stops, and that's all that it was. So you could like watch this train travel around. Yeah, because you weren't really there for the video, you're just there to talk with other people. So.
Yeah, Party Puppy hangs out in there too.
Oh, okay.
Party Puppy's awesome.
There's like a whole like different branch of like people that like group together. So I'm trying to keep in touch, but like, I can't keep up with like all the different groups. You know what I mean? Like, there's just too many now, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, I'm always behind. So I'm like, just assume I'm out of the loop. I am. Probably
Me too, because it's like during the day, like I'm always like just working or doing something, and so then at night, like there's all this stuff, and I'm like, what happened?
Right. Like, oh my God, tell me what's going on. And see, like, we're in baseball season, and that takes up all of our time. Like I warned you guys before baseball started, like, no, for real, like between 2 kids and practices and all-stars and games and rescheduling, like you might as well just like, I'm not going to be here until it's over. So, and we're finally to like the all-star season and everything else is done. So Saturday, my kid plays a doubleheader. If they win both, then they go to state. So yay! I'm excited. So proud baseball mama.
Oh Lord. My kids were never interested, and I have a daughter that has a really long reach, and I was like, oh, please play basketball, and she's just not interested. Yeah. She does want to do roller derby though, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool. She's kind of badass.
Yeah, she's just not old enough. She's badass. She's just like me when I was a kid.
I was angry. I was an angsty teenager. I didn't want to listen to anybody.
I also, like in my 20s, my late teens and early 20s, I hung out with a group where I got pierced and hung from hooks and really abused my body. Like even when I go to the dentist, like I will not get anesthetic, and it really freaks him out. And I'm like,
Yeah,
just do it. I don't mind. I kind of like it. And he's like,
yeah,
oh my God. But it's
yeah.
just, you
That
know,
pain thing. Yeah, you learn that pain thing.
well, it's, you know, that's a result of the way I was raised. So it's like,
Yeah,
I
it
kind of like
was.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, I never like got into all that stuff that much. Though I have been thinking about like piercing my nose. I did have piercings and stuff for a long time, but yeah. And then like I had kids and I like, clean
Yeah.
my act up a little bit.
Once you have
So,
kids, the nose ring is kind of like ridiculous. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to stop
yeah.
that.
hmm I had my lip pierced, had the center done is what I had before. I kept that one a long time. That was the last one to go, but I think I might just get like a little, like just a little ring, like, just a little one.
Like,
Might
like
do
a little
adorn,
Marilyn Monroe.
Hmm?
Get you
like a
like a
little
little
what?
Marilyn Monroe, like a little bitty piercing on your cheek.
Yeah, somebody was saying that too, and they're like, "Oh, you would look cute on you," and I'm like, I don't know. I just figure my nose is huge. I might as well decorate it. So, but yeah, because it's it's kind of out there.
Yeah, especially if you're a mom. Like all the other moms are like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, and here, like, it's okay for like moms to have like a small like little piercing. Like that's totally fine now. Because like there's so many other moms that are doing stuff like that. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So like it doesn't matter now. But at first, like when my kids were first born, oh my God, like that was like you're in league with Satan if you have, a piercing or something. So yeah, things have changed a lot.
Yeah, and see, I live in a very conservative area, and like even like still like my chest tattoo, people are like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's just a Capricorn symbol." I was 18, ain't no big deal, lady.
Ooh, astrology and a tattoo?
I know, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Utah, so like the inner voice is like, yeah, that Mormon upbringing where it's just like, oh my God, yeah, yeah, you don't show skin, you don't have an opinion, you do your wifey duties, like that's been ingrained in me. Even though I'm not that person, like there's still like every once in a while I catch myself like, why do I care about this? I don't even live there. But yeah, it's funny what you carry with you.
Well, yeah, and too, like I had this friend, like in early college years, he was friends with my husband, and he was Jewish, and he had gotten to a wreck, and they put a rod in his leg, and his parents told him, you can't be buried in the Jewish cemetery now."
Yeah.
So he went ahead and just tattooed himself up,
He's like, screw it then. Like, what am I gonna do? Yeah.
Can't even be buried with his family because he got in a wreck. It's ridiculous. So he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get some tattoos.
Yeah. And to them they're like, it would be better if you just cut the whole leg off, like just get rid of it because, you can't have that in you. Like, yeah, they're not messing around. Same with like Jehovah's Witnesses were really big in Utah too, and they're not allowed to have blood transfusions. They're like, no, I'd rather die. Like literally, I would rather die than have a blood transfusion.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're not allowed to have blood transfusions.
I had to have blood transfusions when I was like little instead of my mom. Like she had trouble like with pregnancies. I don't know.
Was it an RH thing? Was she sensitized?
Yeah.
RH sensitized? Yeah.
Yeah, she was. I mean, I'm RH positive, but
yeah, but she was already sensitized, so she had to keep doing that with you, or she was, you should probably miscarriage you if she had it.
Yeah. Ooh, Dark Rolston just sent me a bunch of kisses and hearts.
Ooh, I know you want him to log in so you can see those cannons.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
are you at work?
Yeah.
Are you at work, Dark Wolf? So adorable.
Aw.
He's my YouTube crush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally married though. Oh my
I didn't
God.
know year. Me and Dark Wolf are almost the same age. We were born the same year, so.
What year?
80.
1980? I was born in 1975.
75.
Yeah, I was born on the winter solstice. It was very important to my parents.
Oh.
Because in our family, like your name and like when you were born like determines what you're going to be.
Oh.
And they bring you in front of an oracle when you're like 3 or 4. I kind of remember it. And they say what you're going to do. And I was supposed to be like a politician's wife. I was supposed to be a handler.
I can see you being a handler.
Well, see, I'm very good at sales. I'm very good at sales, so that's probably why. I don't know. But I said, fuck that.
Yeah. I don't remember anything like that, so I don't think that that's what my parents were into. I don't think anyway. Either that or I just blanked it all, but yeah, I don't remember anything like that. So I was born in June. The end of June 28th. So I just had my birthday. I was 29
I was
again.
born on, like, the cusp.
Yeah.
I was born on the cusp of Capricorn. You know, I'm like the first day you can be a Capricorn.
Yep, December 21st. Yeah.
22nd.
22nd. Yeah, because I think it changes a little bit between the 21st and the 22nd as the solstice. So one of mine is born December 31st. And then I have one on January the 11th, one on Valentine's Day, and one on October the 9th. So they all have like 10-9, you know, the last day of the year, the 1/11, and then the Valentine's Day. So they all have like these markers kind of. I don't know. I think the royal family does that too. Like they make sure that like they have their kids at certain days and times and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, you hope for that. I mean, you can't control it though, really, I don't think. I mean, unless she took something, who knows with her?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible because, yeah, you can induce labor or you can even schedule a C-section if you really wanted to make sure, you know. You're just like, and it's time.
By the time my mom had me, I was her 10th child. And she had me in 30 minutes.
I bet.
Her water broke and that was it. She had me quick.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a birther. She was like a breeder.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up with a lot of that in Mormon, you know, culture that, yeah, you had babies. That was your job, was to have babies, you know, and if you didn't, then like you weren't fulfilling your spiritual obligation if you weren't like populating the, you know, universe basically. So, but yeah, like my third one, I told her like, this baby is just going to come. Like, and she's like, don't worry, I'll be there. And I'm like, no, really, like you need to be here. Like when I get to the hospital. And she's like, it's going to be fine. I only live 5 minutes away. Yeah. She didn't make it. The nurse had to catch the baby. So yeah, I had to catch the baby. My husband's like,
I had C-sections. Like my kids got stuck. I would have died. Like if it had been Victorian times, I'd be dead.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. No, I had problems during my pregnancies that tried to kill me, but yeah, the birth part, like this kid's was like birthing was fine. It was the pregnancies that were hard for me. So,
yeah. Oh, me too.
But yeah. Yeah, like the birth fine, like that was fine. Like I didn't have any medication or anything. I was just like, I'm here, catch my kid, you know, like it was fine. My first one though, because I had such high blood pressure that I almost died. I should have been in a coma from that because my blood pressure went up during the delivery. And they're like, I can't believe you're still awake. I'm like, good Lord. Yeah, can't believe that you told me that. But yeah, so I do remember that. And he was the one, like they had to resuscitate him. He was born in the sack and he wasn't breathing. And like, I thought that he was a stillborn when I saw him because they didn't have time even to really like pull the bed out. So like he was born on the end of the bed and turns out, you know, yeah. And he came in the sack and it was lucky that he was born on the end of the bed because they would have dropped him. And so she just pulls the sack off of him, and he was purple, and his little arms just like fell open, and he didn't grimace or anything. And she's like immediately like has him like because he was only 3 pounds 7 ounces, and so like she's holding him in one hand, him CPR with one hand. Yeah. And that's like, and then like all of a sudden, like everything was really bright and could smell like flowers and stuff. And I just remember like waiting and seeing if he was going to cry or not. And I'm like, if he doesn't cry, I'm out of here. Like I'm done. And just like waiting. And then he started crying and then I was like back like that. So
Did it smell like roses or flowers?
like a mixture of flowers. So like roses and lilacs and were like the most prominent ones, and lavender. Like it was like a mix of all of those together. Yeah,
Because you know,
it was
roses,
really nice.
the smell of roses is what saints smell like.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like in the Catholic tradition, that's one of the things they
Oh.
look for. Like when a saint dies, you smell the scent of roses,
Oh,
or like their blood
Yeah.
smells like roses. A lot of times, their blood will smell like it. So that might have been what you're smelling. It might be you.
maybe.
Your blood may smell like that. I mean, who knows? You know.
My husband says that I smell like flowers. Like he likes to come up and like he'll smell like my hair and stuff, and it's not my shampoo. I'm like, I want to clarify. It's the hair. People don't like go like weird with that comment, okay? Jeez. Yeah. So, and he does say that a lot. Like he's like, you smell like sweet and like flowers a lot. So I'm like, cool. I don't think I smell like flowers a lot, but whatever. So.
Saint Poppy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I painted that picture and I was like, I need a thumbnail. So I was like, I'll just take Poppy as the name and then I'll have like my own custom thumbnail. So that's how that happened. So no, I'd like to say that there was a purpose. Maybe there was, maybe it's something in my inner self. Because like, I don't know, like when I painted that, I just kind of felt like the colors and stuff, like I'm opening a new chapter that's like brighter and fuller of life. And it makes me think of like California and stuff, like, some happier memories and stuff. So I don't know. I like to say I have all the answers, guys, but I don't.
I know I don't. I'm just trying to figure all this out. It's rough.
It is. And it's like you feel like you almost get a direction or an answer or something, and then it's like,
and then it changes.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm like, oh, fuck my life. Because I really felt like I was dialed in, like there was a direction and a purpose, and I'm like, okay, I got it. And then like everything changed again, and I'm like, whoa, are you kidding me? Yeah, so I guess
like
at least
for me,
I'm
getting shitloads of like obstacles. Like it's like one after another, just all these things in my way.
Yep. And that's where I was at 10 years ago. Probably. It was probably the worst part for that. And like, my husband lost a job and I was pregnant, had a baby, and we moved and I was finishing my degree, and then we lost the baby and I almost died, and then I had to have my gallbladder out, and then he flaked out and had a breakdown and left with the car and 2 of the kids, and I was trying to still finish school after having 2 surgeries and almost dying and having him flake out, and finally got the degree and then went to work, just starting to get back on my feet, and then I fall down my stairs a year later.
Oh my God.
Yep. So, and that was 7. Like all of that took like a couple of years, and that was like 7 years ago now that I fell down my stairs. Yep. And then I, did the medical route, and so then I did 7 or 8 surgeries in a row. But like if you like printed off a list of the surgeries I've had, it's single spaced is 2.5 pages of surgeries that I've had. They just did a bunch of them all at once, trying to fight to get like my feet back to where they could be, because I'm like, my degree, I have to be able to be on my feet. I have to take care of my kids because like, yeah, my husband flaked out, like he couldn't do it, like he had a complete breakdown. So I was like, I've got to do this, and I've got 4 kids and a husband, and I'm like, I've got to do all of this myself, and I just what are you going to do? I can't actually like barely walk. I'm supposed to use a walker, and I'm like, fuck that shit, damn walker, fuck you guys, over that shit. And so in the meantime, they're like giving me all these surgeries and medications, and it triggered fibromyalgia, and then they put me on Lyrica, and then I gained 100 pounds, and now I'm like, fuck the medical community, and now I'm getting my health back. So
Dude, Lyrica reminds me of Xanax. They gave me samples of it one time, and I was like,
Mhm.
I can't function on this shit. I mean, I just couldn't do it. It was too much.
yeah, I gained 90 pounds at least. I stopped weighing myself at that point in 2 months. I
Damn.
probably was close to 100, 110, somewhere in there, and I'm still taking the weight off. So people are like, oh, you big bone gals. And I'm like, no. What you see here is a result of medication. It's just taking a long time to take it off, So, you big bone gals. I'm like, yeah, not, like, hey, more power to you. Everybody comes in different shapes and sizes, but, that's not, no, this isn't me. I'm getting rid of this. So. Yeah. But it's just taking a long time to get things back to normal. And like I had to go like on that allergen diet where like I had to like cut everything out and like slowly reintroduce stuff, and then I had to heal my stomach. And yeah, so it's just been like one thing after another, and I'm just like, really? Like I just want to like raise my kids like in a way that is halfway decent because I had such a shitty childhood, and I'm like, really? Like I'm not even gonna be able to work. Like I'm so fucking pissed. So yeah. More than you probably ever wanted to know about me in like, a 4-minute rant.
No, it's just like, that's the thing. Like, it's because like, we are able to see just all of the stuff gets thrown at us to try to throw us off track and to try to distract. And so like when I go through difficulties, like now I'm like, I must be doing something right because, all these things are being thrown at me. Things are not easy.
Yeah.
And more and more every day, like I see more, I'm able to, I'm able to have that discernment,
Yep. Yeah. And I'm like I'm in a phase of just like relearning like how to be involved again with things. Because I was so isolated for such a long time. Like I just, like it was already hard for me like to be social. Like I always feel like I'm missing something in the conversation somewhere. But for me to like to be on here and doing videos and chatting with people and stuff, like it's like relearning part of that for me. Like I want to be social and friendly and I care about people, but it's like a completely new thing for me to like go from being really isolated and not talking to anybody to like talking to people every day. Like it's just a big, big change for me, so I needed it and I want it, but it's still like, it's hard. So I'm getting there.
Yeah, see, like this is the only time I can be real. Like in my, like when I go to work and stuff, it's, every time somebody asks me something about myself, I just deflect it right back on them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, oh, how many kids do you have? And I'll be like, oh, 4. I'm like, well, what about your kids? What are their names? Like to try to deflect from me. Yeah. I worked this job one time and they were like, you have kids? It was like after a year. And I was like, I do.
Yeah.
I just don't talk about it because it's nobody's business what goes on in my house,
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to know.
Yeah, and I remember being like in that phase for such a long time because like I just feel like I had to just like move forward, and so I packed so much of my personal life into like this bag, and I was like, I never talked about myself, nobody knew what was going on, I just like one foot in front of the other, you got to live life, you got to move on with things, and so I just like never talked about myself. And like now like with the channel and stuff, I'm like, man, I gotta talk about myself. And it's just kind of like this whole new experience. Like, hey, it's okay. Like people actually will like still like you if they know you. Like it's fine. It's just like a whole new concept because I have like major trust issues from my childhood. I think like screwed me up, but yeah.
Oh, I do too. I can't let I don't have like people over. If somebody comes over to my house, like it causes so much anxiety. It's like, it's like this is the only place where I can have some peace sometimes. Not tonight, but
yeah. And like, but it's like it's weird because it's like I really do want to be social, but like I have like a minor panic attack like every time. Like I go to chat or go to like make a video, like there's like this like couple of minutes where I'm just like, shut up and just fucking do it. Don't think about it. It's fine. And then once I get started, I'm okay. Because everybody's like even today, like people are like, oh, Poppy can do it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. And like inside I'm like, oh my God, okay, it's gonna be okay. You know, because it's like I do want to talk and be social and stuff, but it's like I don't know. It's just relearning, I guess, the pattern. Like I don't know how else to explain it because, you know, I don't want anybody like to get hurt feelings. It doesn't have anything to do with like wanting to talk to certain people or anything. It's just being on camera and like having to process conversations quickly and in real time. Like chats and things are so much better because like I can just type and then I can make sure that what I said is going to be like what is on the screen. Does that make sense? Like I can edit it, I guess.
Yeah.
And make sure that like that's exactly what I wanted to say. But when I'm on here, it's like you can't edit. Like it just what's out is out. But I'm like, I know that it's okay. Like nobody worries about it that much. You know what I mean? Like we're just having a conversation. It's fine. Yeah. But there's still this part of me that's like, what if you do say like that one wrong thing? Like there's just that inner voice that I'm like trying to kill. It's like, no, nobody cares about that like one thing that you might say. It's fine. As long as you're not a complete asshole, it's going to be fine. You know? So that's why I do think that maybe I have like some autistic traits because I worry too much about this shit. So Dark Wolf, join the video. Aww.
Ooh, wait, let me make that big. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Show It's getting hot in here.
That makes me feel faint.
I know, I can see. Look at you, dude. You got all pink. You're just like, whoo, baby. Ooh, baby. Lordy.
So cute.
Oh, Lord. Ooh. This Southern girl can't handle it.
She's like,
Poppy, I don't think I've ever actually physically talked to you.
I know,
Wait,
right?
Oh, yeah.
We've never Yeah, we've never
on
chatted.
Chat all the time, but never actually talked.
Hi. I was saying earlier, I didn't know we were born in the same year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right, you were born in 1980.
About like 2 months.
Yeah.
Mine's April 13th. You said yours is what, June 28th?
June 28th, yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, 1980 was the year. I'm telling you, it was the right year.
Like, good year, people.
What is your sign, Dark Wolf?
Aries.
Okay.
I'm a Cancer.
What's that?
Cancer. I'm a Cancer water sign. Crab.
Gotcha.
We're homebodies and like to keep all of our soft feelings inside, under our hard protective shells.
He's frozen.
He's like, just a second. Yeah. Well, he muted us too, so. But yeah, the full moon was on my birthday.
You know, I think I heard his. Yeah, I think his work phone went off. Yeah, that's what it is.
I think so. Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go take care of some business.
Alrighty. He just came to show off his cannons.
I know, he just wanted to give me a gun show.
He did. His opening picture, he's like, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He did, like right out of the gate.
He's something serious.
Yeah, he starts talking all smart, and I'm like, oh, talk some more science.
I know, right? Yeah, I like it. I like it when he gets all excited about his research and stuff. That's always cute.
It is. Yeah, because he's all enthusiastic, and I'm like, oh, that's adorable.
I like the fact that he researches stuff like I'm interested in, like the Schumann resonance and like our connection and like trying to predict shifts.
Yeah.
I mean, people who just talk about changes, like I get bored like really easy. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's, shit changes. Yeah, I know.
When I very first found out that this had a name and that other people were experiencing, I couldn't get enough of like what other people were seeing in changes, because I was like, oh wow, okay, that changed too, or somebody else saw it, or I hadn't heard of that or whatever. But like now I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, another logo changed. I just am like over it. Like, yeah, they're going to keep changing, people. Okay, like if that's like your cup of tea, then cool, but they're going to keep changing. Just expect it. Geography is going to keep changing. The body gonna keep changing. Like, it's just gonna keep happening. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm done. Like, I just want to know, like, why, and to move on. Like, I'm awake, I'm woke. You know, what's next?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I
So,
just want to know what's going to happen.
yeah, because
I'm
I
like,
don't
what's
feel
the
like
purpose?
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I want to know, and I'm like, I just don't think that we get the full picture, because I think if we knew, it would like freak us out. Like, we just get to see like the next little bit, and then we get to progress, and then when we get to that point, then we get to like see the next bit after that, you know. Because I think if we had the whole picture, it might freak us out. So
My husband is always like, you know, keep it up and you'll disappear. I mean, that's what he says all the time. He thinks that, you know, like, once you know it all, like, you get raptured. Like, that's it. You get to get out of here. And that's why there's missing people, you know, like they woke up and they're gone, you know.
and they're gone.
But who knows? Who knows what's really going on?
Maybe we already did that, and now we're here, and this is the next level, and we already did that in like the other timeline or whatever. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I do feel like once we learn everything or do what we're supposed to do, like, it'll be better. But I don't know. Like, I'm just compelled right now, like, to find the right people for our group and like to bring the group together. And maybe that's just because like that's my purpose in this for right now, is to try to identify people and bring those people in. But like, I can't see like anything else. Like, that's like, I'm obsessed with it almost. And yeah, you know, so I don't know. So I'm like, yeah, I'll leave the other like analytical stuff, you know, like the residue hunters and stuff like that. I'm like, that's just not my thing. Like, you know. So, oh, look, he's over there showing off. You see that?
Where is he? Oh, there he is.
Yeah. If you can hear us, you're muted, though, Dark Wolf. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. I would love to know, like, why do we have to come together? Because I feel like we really need to bring the group together, and, like, I've been kind of, like, waiting for this, I think. Like, on a deeper spiritual level, I knew it was coming, but I don't know. I don't know what's next. I don't know what the purpose of bringing everybody together is, but I would love to know. If you get a manual, let me know.
We've been saying this for years, even back before I had a channel. I was hanging out in Discord rooms, and we've been saying for years, there's a reason we're being brought together. There's a reason we all see this. Still don't know what it is yet, but we've been saying that for quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe our combined energy is what breaks this and gets us out of here.
Yeah, I feel like not everybody has been here to make whatever was supposed to happen, and it shifted the timeline off. Like, it pushed things off into the future more, because not everybody was here. I do know that, but I don't know what that thing is supposed to be.
I still don't think all of us are here yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. We're getting there.
We'll know. We'll feel it.
Yeah. I think that we will be gathered together closer in physical form. I don't think we're just going to be meeting people on, you know, chats like this. I think we're going to be physically together.
I've got quite a few people when I moved across the country here that are very open-minded and open-eyed and see these things. I got one guy I meet with once a week for lunch, and we discuss theories and Mandela effect and idea. You know, we run different theories across each other, try to figure things out. I've got a friend here the reason I even moved here was a friend of mine, and she's very Mandela effect, and everybody around me I talk to is very open-minded about it. And people I work with I can talk to. I've been really lucky on that aspect, as far as having people in my physical life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really lucky that my family is woke up. And I wasn't 100% sure about all my kids, but now I've been able to confirm that all of my kids for sure are affected. My husband's for sure affected. And my mom recently, when I talked with her on my birthday, confirmed that she was as well. Because I had mentioned it to her back when I thought you could wake people up. And so I was telling everybody in my whole family. And and then people were like, yeah, that was when my sister flaked out on me and was like, you need to be in a home. But yeah, and then my mom, she just on my birthday, just out of the blue, she was like, what is that thing that you were telling me about? And then we started talking about it, and she for sure is affected, because she was like, well, so I saw this hardware sign, and it used to be spelt a certain way, and this town used to be spelt, the name of the town was spelt differently, and now it's all different. And I'm like, oh yeah. So, because she doesn't have the internet and stuff, so yeah. So I was like, there you go. So
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I'm lucky that way. But everybody's like, oh, you're so lucky that your husband's awake. And I'm like, we don't shift at the same time, and we see things differently. I think a lot of people think that once you're together, and then you always shift together. That's not true. You do
Right.
and that's rough. You're both aware of it, but you still change back and forth a little bit, and we've
Or
been
when
able
you've
to
had
pinpoint a
conversations
different
with
person.
somebody, you've had a certain conversation with them. When you bring it back up to them, like,
Right?
no, we never talked about that.
It explains so many of the arguments that we've had before we knew that this had a name, because we would have conversations. I'm like, you seriously don't remember that? The wife husband thing. And he's like, no. I'm like, you don't listen to me. And he's like, and it just turns out that it was the other version of him,
Right.
and I had seen him switch even probably 15 years ago, at least, maybe longer than that, because it was before our son was born, so maybe 18 years ago, that he would switch, his personality would change. And I was like, well, that's weird, but you pass it off, because you're like, oh, well, maybe he had a bad day, or he's tired, or whatever, but now looking back, it makes a lot more sense. So
Martha and her husband have had issues like that too, haven't you, Martha?
Oh yeah, and I mean it's going on right now. I mean, tonight before he left for work, I mean he was like, I don't know how much longer I could do this. I mean, he's just, I don't know. It's bad. He's like, I love you, he said, but I don't think I can handle this much longer. I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, that dream you had, you talking about you get the land and he's going to die or whatever. Death doesn't always necessarily mean to be physical either, especially when it comes to a dream. Could be the death of the relationship, could be a whole lot of things.
I know my husband just came to me and started saying that he's been having dreams where he can see me with somebody else, but he can't see who it is. And we're looking at our shared headstone, and it's not him.
Oh
and he's
my God.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, shit, that's not fucking are you fucking kidding me? And so he's like, no, he's like, you're gonna meet somebody else, and he's like, he won't come off of it. And I'm like, dude, how are we supposed to work on our relationship when you're already no, this is gonna happen? I'm just like, fuck. So yeah, so I'm having some issues too.
Well, I just get scared. I think who's gonna protect me if he leaves or something,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, that's when you just believe the universe has a purpose and go with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're life partners, and we've been together 21 years now. We've been together. I can't imagine not having him in my life,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a part of him is trying to prepare me. I don't know. But it freaks me out every time he talks about it.
I just wondered if he was still down there. Oh, sorry.
Wait, what did you say?
I was talking to somebody else, and I didn't realize I was unmuted.
Oh, okay. Well, you got somebody there with you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're waiting for more. No, that's it.
Hold on a second. I'm waiting too. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh my God.
He's like, yes. He's like, come on, come be on camera.
Hi.
Hey, what's
My
up?
friend Mountain Cat.
Hello.
How are you
Now,
doing?
one of my many names online. How many names do I have now?
Mountain Cat.
And Cat Idaho.
And Cat, 3 of them.
I have 3 names.
So, you know Martha, you've seen her quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I've seen you online.
Hey.
And then this one's Poppy.
Hi.
This one's Poppy.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, yeah. Hi, everybody.
I'm his friend in Idaho. I talked him into coming here.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
really?
the friend I always talk about, and you know.
Uh-huh.
You know. What does he say?
Well, I've told the stories 15 times.
No, he's-
so I'm not gonna,
No, he just
I
said,
want to know what he's saying.
I just know that.
Oh God.
yeah, he's told
All I
us
know-
that, like, you know, that y'all, he's told us that, like, y'all want to get a piece of land and have yurts and stuff
Yes.
like that, you know.
That's
That's
the dream.
cool. That sounds really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of us have been feeling that. Yeah, that we want to
Yeah,
get
we-
just back to the land. Yeah.
Yeah, and Martha, don't you have some land or something that
I
you were
have, like,
talking about?
six-
Something like,
Yeah, see, I already have 6 acres, like in Poplarville, Mississippi, but we're trying to acquire like something with like 50 to 60 acres or more, you know, and have
Oh,
like geodomes and stuff like that.
yes. I love all the alternative housing options, especially the round ones. You know, TBs,
Yes.
geodomes. There's a whole. I don't know if you've read the book "Living in the Round." There's this whole theory about if you live in a round space instead of square corners, because there aren't square 90-degree angles in nature. Round is natural. That's why Native Americans and the igloos and everything are round, and the yurts and the teepees, because it's more harmonious with the environment. And when you think about it, our chakras are round, our auras are round. So if you live in a round place, it's supposed to be just more, supposed to be healthier and more, I don't know, better for everything. You know, you will coexist in, you know, with your living space better. So that's
Yeah,
what
it's supposed to create a certain frequency too. And I
Mhm.
mean, the geodomes that we're looking at, you can like pick like what frequency you want to exist in. I mean, like different sizes create like different energies. And so,
Oh wow!
I mean,
I
yeah,
haven't
that's the
studied
reason.
That sounds interesting.
The one we bought, I mean, we have it in storage, but the one we bought is from, I can't remember.
Pacific
it's late.
Domes.
Let's see. I don't know. I don't have to
Pacific
look it up.
Domes.
Yes, Pacific Domes. Thank you.
Oh well, the yurts I'm interested in are the main company that makes them is Pacific Yurts. Wonder if that's the same company.
I don't, or it might just be a synchronicity.
Might be. Yeah, very well could be.
Are you going to be buying your property at the end of July then? Or are you looking at someplace different, Martha? Or does it look like it's going to go through for you?
I don't know if the first property is going to go through because they deforested it.
Ugh.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah. See, it was part of the person who owned it died. And so it's caught up in like an estate. You know, it's caught up in court. And the people who have it now deforested it, you know, to help pay the taxes on it and things like that. And that's not what we wanted. We wanted it to have trees, you know.
Right.
So we could selectively deforest like parts of it, you know, so you could have like maybe some cattle that, you know, have shade and you know, we wanted to be able to do it the way we wanted to do it, you know.
Yeah.
Just thin it out and not get rid of it, you know. And it's just like, I mean, it looks like a bulldozer went through there. It's bad.
Yeah, I've looked at some properties for sale up in Maine that are like that are deforested, and they'll say stuff like, new dirt paths have been paved for the new owner. And I'm like, yeah, that's just a nice way of saying like they drove every truck through like every corner of this property and it's completely decimated. And I'm like, I mean, you can get like 100 acres for like $75,000, but it's like, yeah, it's going to be like dirt, you know? And I was like, man, I don't know. It's a lot of acreage, but
if it comes with water rights, you can replant. Get the fast.
I mean,
trees. There are varieties that grow very fast. I mean, it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't build something for the kids, you know, like the generation after us, you know, because I'm thinking about that too, you know, because we have 4 kids, you know. Like, make something better of this place, you know. And you have to clear some of it for, like, houses and stuff anyway, but I'm like, 100 acres of, like, bare dirt that's just, like, stumps. Like, I don't know if I'm, like, equipped to deal with that, so.
Yeah, right. That's a lot. Yeah. Well, we found a property here that's it's only 5 acres, but it is perfect. But I don't know. We're trying to figure out a way to come up with the money for it. But it's perfect. Yeah. It has it's close enough to where we live now that we wouldn't have to quit our job, so that would help pay for it. Mm-hmm. And it's has a home on it, a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom home that's like split level, and you can close off the downstairs and 2 separate homes, and you can rent half of it. So that takes care of part of the house payment. So we're trying to figure it out. And it's only 5 acres, but here's the great thing. It's got lots of mature trees, and it's got like 6 outbuildings that are real nice that they rent out for people's cars and things during the winter. People rent them. And so that's another income source. The best part is it has like 4 ancient grandfathered in water rights, 4 water rights for 5 acres. You could irrigate the entire thing. You could have a tree farm, or you could grow, you know, anything on that property.
Non-GMO.
Okay. Always. But yeah, I mean, it's just the perfect property, but we're trying to figure out a way to come up with the money and make it happen. And it could be tricky. Might need some partners.
Is that in Idaho or Oregon?
Idaho.
Yeah.
See, our whole problem is we own a home. We own a home now. So, like, in order to get the loan, I mean, you basically have to have your home sold. If it's land, especially if you're going to develop it, I mean, they want like half down. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, and that's my thing. But I had a small inheritance a few years ago, and I bought a very small condo. It was horrible, the worst one ever, unlivable. Tore everything out, remodeled it real nice with the intent on selling it, but then I split up with my partner, and so me and my daughter lived there, and my daughter loves it so much I just don't want to sell it. But if I sold it, I'd have a killer down payment for this other property and might be able to get it, but I don't want to sell it now. So it's like
it's a big decision
with an N.
It's a big decision.
Yeah,
it's a dilemma with an N.
Yes, a dilemma. Like I used to spell it when I was a kid.
Dilemma.
Dilemma. But now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a plan to get everything situated to where, yeah, I can seriously look and have the right down payment and all that stuff. Because, yeah, I'm not sitting on a huge nest egg, so it's going to take a lot of planning on my part, you know, but I think that I'll be able to, like, in the next, like, 5 years or so. And honestly, like, my 2 older kids are kind of locked into the school that they're in and stuff anyway. Like, they don't want to have to not graduate from this high school. So, you know, it's stuff like that, you know, that I'm like, oh, life, you know, you have to unravel all those ties. So.
What states are you guys in? Where are you at?
Indiana.
I'm in Mississippi.
Indiana and Mississippi. I've never been to either of those places.
I'm in
grew
the
up
dirt.
in
I'm in the dirty South, baby. I'm telling you. Woo,
Yeah, I grew
it's
up
hot
in
as
Utah.
hell too.
Mostly.
What was the heat index over there today? It was 110 to Tennessee.
Oh, it was in the 90s. I mean, it was hot as hell. But see, like I was raised in New Orleans without air conditioning and like a big old home, and so I'm used to it. You know, I don't know. I don't mind the heat at all. I like it. I can live
I'm
in it.
not a big fan of the heat myself, but
I mean, it's better than being cold.
well, cold you can put more clothes on. You can only strip off so much.
You can
Right?
die in the you can die in the cold too. I don't
You
know.
You
can
could
die in the
die in sink.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I've lived
I don't
in the
know. I just
mountains, I've
everything.
lived in the desert. I don't know. I don't care.
It's just everything grows so easily here. It's easy to have agriculture here. It's like one of the main things that the state, you know, supports itself on. So, I mean, the land here is just really rich and fertile. It's easy to find properties with aquifers. I mean, you know, and everything's cheap too. It's cheap to live here. What? What is
Again. Say
what are
aquifer
you
again.
laughing about?
You said aquifers. That was adorable.
What is that bad?
No, the rest of the country says aquifers, but that was cute.
Yeah, That's why
well,
we're giggling. Very
That's cute.
cute.
I am in Mississippi, y'all. I'm in Mississippi, and that's what everybody says here. They're like, I got an aquifer on my land. You know what else people say here? They'll say buffet instead of buffet.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
god.
We went and ate at the
Uh-huh.
buffet.
At the buffet. Uh-huh.
At the buffet. My mom
That's
does it too. I'm like, oh my god, whatever.
Y'all
It's a
get in the truck.
buffet.
We're going down to buffet.
We gonna eat at the buffet. All you can eat catfish and fried pickles.
When he starts talking to
God.
people with that southern accent, his southern accent kicks in.
Oh,
That's so funny.
My
see,
mom
I was
says I
raised
have
in.
an accent. My mom says
I
I
was
have an
raised
accent. In it, but I don't think I have an accent, but whatever.
No, you have a pretty neutral accent. But I was raised in New Orleans, and when I get there, I sound horrible, like a yat. You know, it's bad. My husband says things like turlet and light bulb and zinc instead of sink. He's like,
Turlet?
he's like, hey girl. He'll be like, hey girl, get the dishes out the zinc. And I'm like, oh Lord. And we always say we're gonna go make groceries. He's like, baby, you need to go make groceries. We ain't got no food. I'm just like, oh God.
Groceries.
That's what I'm going to do on my land. I'm going to grow my own groceries.
You're gonna actually make them.
I am actually going to make them.
Well,
I like to have bees and raise dogs and all that shit, you know?
we're looking into growing and selling microgreens too.
Oh, that's a good business.
Yeah.
It
Quail
can
eggs,
be.
microgreens.
Well, we live
Yeah,
in
I mean,
an
and
area
there's
that's very health conscious. They've got a lot of health stores, a lot of fresh food restaurants.
And there are no local growers doing microgreens. I try and do my juicing. I can't find good greens for my juicing. So it's like, why not grow them? I'll grow them. I'll sell them to the stores around here.
Yeah.
If it,
Do
I
you
mean,
ever
there's
eat-
no
do you
one
ever
to
eat broccoli?
corner the market. If we make good
Do you-
money on it, maybe that'll bring the money in to buy our land. Who knows?
That's true.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yeah,
you ever eat broccoli sprouts?
All kinds of sprouts, yeah. Sprouted foods and microgreens where they don't grow past the first 2 leaves are the most
Right.
nutrient dense food on the planet. So if you juice those, it's a great way to get them into your body and raise your vibration. And I figure if we're growing them for our community, we're raising the vibration of our community. And I want to do it I want to go beyond. I mean, there are a few microgreen growers that really get into the pure and they're organic and all that, and do the air purifiers and the water purifiers. I want to do all that, but I want to take it a step further, and I want to put, I want to do the reverse osmosis purifiers for the water and the air purifiers and all that. But I also, in the water tubs that we're using, I want to put crystals in them. I want to put crystals in the grow rooms. I want to
Full intentional.
intentionally meditate with the plants, like in that movie and that book, Celestine Prophecies, how they meditate with their food that they're growing in the greenhouses, like that. And I mean, the work of Dr. Emoto, you know, you can change the molecular structure of water by meditating with it, you know, and certainly by putting crystals in it and all that. So I want to take it to that level. And like I make herb teas. I have a line of herb teas that I make, and I call them synchronicity, like cutesy.
I like that.
Really cool ones like Psychic Spice and Dream Tea and all these fun teas. And I take the, you know, the properties that herbs with properties that match what I'm trying to do, and I put them together and make these teas. But what I do with them when I'm making them and I'm working with them, I really love working with herbs. I think I was a medicine woman in my past life. I'm pretty sure I've seen this, you know, somewhere. But when I make my herb teas, I kind of meditate with them, and I touch them, and I'm a Reiki practitioner, so I'll put Reiki healing energy in them, and I do the Reiki symbols over them. So I try and take them to the next level too. That's what I try and do. So I don't know.
Yeah. It sounds beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, see, I have a crystal filter on our drinking water. Like, we have a whole house filter, and then all of our drinking water goes through, you know, one of those machines that electrocutes it and makes it alkaline, and then it goes through a crystal filter, and then we have like a tornado pipe that re-energizes it, and we sit there and pray. We pray over our water, our food, like any kind of herbs we're growing. We sit there and meditate over them, and it really does help. It's improved my health, you know?
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, you know, it's been proven scientifically that, I mean, you can just put a word magic, spell magic, you know, you can just print a word on a water bottle, like love or healing or whatever word you want, and it just printing the word on it and taping it to the bottle or writing it on your bottles, it just, the word will infuse it with that energy, will change it molecularly to that thing.
Yeah.
So
words and intention. Words and intention have power. No doubt. Because we've seen that over and over again, and there's a certain vibrational frequency that different words carry, and I think that we're seeing that energy manifest different things here. You know, what seemed magical in, you know, our old timeline is not magical here. It's just the way kind of some things work here, you know. So.
Well, and I mean, it can be used for the reverse too. That's why, like, it's so important to be careful, like, what you listen to, what you see. You know, it can really affect you. Like, you be really careful about what you say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we're not even really supposed to talk. We're probably supposed to just be telepathic. You know, this is all about spellcasting. You know,
I think we're moving towards telepathy more and more.
Yeah. I think that we did before in our spirit form. That's how we communicated, and we remember that. But now that we're stuck in these physical bodies, it's like we remember what that was like, but yeah, it's like we have to relearn how to be able to do that. And I think a lot of us are seeing that spiritual manifestation now, where we're getting different talents and skills and things that we didn't have before, or getting stronger with them. So I think it's possible eventually that we'll be able to do that.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that, language was put in place as a method of control for us, to get us to sit there and, put bad intentions into our everyday lives, I mean, you think about William Shakespeare was a bard. I mean, he introduced like 1,000 words into the English language. I mean, and if you really tear down these words, a lot of them are not, it's not the best thing to be letting come out of your mouth, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, even the Bible says words are a two-edged sword.
Yes. They really are.
Well,
Got to be so careful.
That's the thing. I agree. We were probably once entirely telepathic, and when the control systems, people with control systems trying to control the masses, they used spell magic. That's why we spell words. That's what words are. Words are spell magic.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And then, that's why the elite learn to speak backwards, because when they're saying things forward, they're really saying things backwards that your subconscious is picking up. That's why I don't watch the news. I don't watch any of that stuff. I stopped watching television back in 2001.
Nice.
I hardly ever watch TV, and unless I'm at a friend's house or something, they've got it on. If it's the only thing in the room, I'll watch it, whatever, if it's interesting. Or if there's a TV show that I like, I'll pull it up on the internet and I'll watch it. But that's about the extent of what I watch as far as TV goes.
Yeah, like I love Westworld. There's some truth in there somewhere.
I've seen about half of the first season. That is an intriguing show.
Oh my God, it gives me chills. And also there's a show called Dark. You ought to watch that. It's German. You have to kind of read the subtitles, but I mean, it's about like time travel, and I mean, it's really good.
You told me that before and I forgot to write it down.
Yeah. I'm like, I remember this conversation. I've been watching Preacher. It's kind of a dark show, Preacher.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. I haven't heard about that one.
Oh, it's a little twisted, so take it with a grain of salt. My husband wanted to watch it.
My two shows have been Timeless, which is of course a time travel show, and
I like that one.
Oh yeah, Timeless is great. And Counterpart. Check out Counterpart if you haven't. That's a really crazy one. It goes with the whole double timelines and two timelines converging off different ways and people from each timeline meeting, and it's really, really crazy.
I'm writing.
I know. I'm like writing all this shit down. I'm like, wait a second.
Cloak and Dagger has been really good. It's like based on a Marvel comic, but it has nothing to do with any of this time travel stuff or anything. It's just cool, comic book stuff. But my kids are into that kind of stuff, and so I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll check it out. But it's a new show. I can't remember what TV station it's on, but it only has like 3 or 4 episodes out so far. So, but yeah, I watched all of the first season of Westworld, and then like, it comes on like HBO or Showtime or something, doesn't it? Because we didn't pay for the movie channels this time anymore, so I haven't seen it. So,
well, you need to get you a Kodi app, girl, and just watch it.
Yeah, Counterpart came on Showtime, and I only know that because like when it first comes on, a Showtime original or whatever. But I only watch stuff online. Like I said, I don't watch TV. I won't do it.
No, the commercials and all that. Forget it.
Exactly.
Yeah, most of my time I end up just watching different streams or doing, MA research and stuff. I don't watch a lot of just like TV shows. But every once in a while I'll watch like historical stuff, but then I'm just sitting there looking for all the changes anyway. So.
Really
Sarah Kay in the chat is saying, have any of you seen The Affair? It's a relationship drama, but it's a total depiction of the ME. I have seen parts of that.
I have not.
It's really fucked up. It's a good show.
Oh, it's a good show. Yeah, that's the way Preacher is. It's definitely a screwed up show, but it's pretty good. So. If you like Twisted, it's a little twisted, but yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I've watched lately because we finally caught up our DVR like from all the recordings, just about anyway.
Well, I mean, you know, of course, Black Mirror is a must see.
You're like, of course.
Yeah, of course, you got to watch that. But
what is Black Mirror?
Yeah,
you never seen Black Mirror?
I've not. I've heard about it.
Oh my God, you got to watch that. Like the first season is just 3 episodes, and I think the second season is like that as well. But it's really good. I mean, it's like, you know, it's kind of like a depiction of the near future.
Oh,
bizarre. It's really good.
I'll have to take a look at it. I've heard about it quite a bit. I just ain't never watched it.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch that.
There's one on Amazon that's like an alternative future show where like if the Nazis had won and like parts of the United States are like taken over by Japan. It was on Amazon.
People that say that there's a dimension like that.
Yeah, it was really good, that show. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh yeah, I can look it up while I'm actually on the video now. Like I'm so used to being like, guys, sorry, I can't look it up.
I know what you're talking about, and I'll be darned if I can remember the name of it.
Right. Just a second. I will look it up because it's got to be in my watch history or something.
But I'm Mandela affected, so you know I have a perfect memory.
Right.
I don't know. My memory is messed
That's
up.
I remember.
Mine is messed up.
I think that's a problem we have in the community a lot is people get a little over cocky sometimes and I'm not misremembering. Well, we're still human. That does still happen. You know?
Or my favorite, just because you didn't know something doesn't mean it's a Mandela effect.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you, Poppy. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, that is so annoying to me. Like certain things I'm like, whatever, you know.
Things that I've grown up with and I've known for years. Like in the South, there's certain things you know. Certain things you're told, you know, certain traditions, certain, you know, there's different weather patterns, all kind of different stuff in the South. I heard somebody on the video the other day talking about the sky turning green before a tornado and a couple of different things that in the South, you know what to look for. You know things like this happen.
Right.
Yeah.
When somebody was calling certain things like that, I'm like, oh, man, no.
Yeah.
But it's like, then again, you cannot discount it either. You can't do that, like, because you don't want to, you know, you have to be like, well, for me, it was always like that.
Well, just because it's new to you, I like that, Poppy. Just because it's new to you doesn't mean it's new.
That's true.
Right.
It can't be, you know, it can't be different if you never knew it to begin with.
Right. Yeah. And I really feel like with the whole memory thing, like for me to be a true Mandela effect, you have a specific memory and that memory is now, the reality does not match that specific memory. Anything else, it's like, yeah, you might have a dual memory. You might have maybe seen something. You have a feeling. You can agree with it, whatever. But to be a true Mandela effect for me, you have a specific memory of a past event, and now that doesn't exist here for whatever reason. To me, that's like the main criteria.
Exactly.
Like the Kennedy assassination. That's like a big one. Or like Bible changes. I mean, come on now.
Right.
Oh, did y'all hear that Jeopardy one that's been going around?
What's the Jeopardy one?
Jeopardy, they asked the lady, said, what animal lays down with the lamb in Isaiah 11:6? And she says, the lion. She gets it right.
Oh, there you go. That's good residue.
Oh, that is good residue.
I hadn't heard that one.
I think Scarab was playing it. Somewhere I've heard it. It's going around.
Nice.
Or like that girl that SMQ featured that calls up like preachers.
World Light, Light of Christ, something like that.
That's freaking awesome because those people are like, yeah, and they're like talking to her. And she's like, will you look it up in your Bible? And then you can hear like the programming happening, and they're like, they don't know what to say. I mean, that's a good one. I mean,
translation? That's the one that pisses me off so much. It's just a different translation. No,
I know, I get that all the time, and I'm like, baby, yeah, I'm like, get your Bible out of your bag or out of your car and look that shit up,
I'm still tripping on that one. The wolf and the lion, the dog and the cat, the wolf and the cat, dog and lion. Well, anyways, it's just weird.
Yeah, she's Mountain Cat. I'm Dark Wolf.
The lion and the wolf changed places. Does that mean I'm supposed to go to Tennessee?
No, God, no. God, no.
Okay. No, I wouldn't leave paradise. I finally found it.
You couldn't pay me to go back to Tennessee.
It took me a long time to find paradise.
We live in a postcard. Like, no joke. We literally live in a postcard. You step forward, you get a view, it looks just like a postcard. Turn to the side. That now looks like a postcard. Turn to the side. No matter where you turn, it's a postcard view.
Drive 10 minutes north of town. Oh my God.
It's gorgeous out here. Right? You're surrounded by mountains.
I joke around. I say we're top of the food chain because the water is like the purest glacier melt. They don't even put fluoride in our water. And the air is pretty clean. They didn't actually start chemtrailing here. I'd been in protests down in Twin Falls and stuff for chemtrailing. They didn't start chemtrailing here until 2013, like the T-shirt says.
Right.
Because we had a big fire, and I think they convinced the wealthy elite up here who were not having it that it was good for weather modification, and they could get these fires out quicker and save their precious playground. And they did it. And ever since then, they've been chemtrailing the hell out of it. But maybe it's just coincidence. Maybe it's everywhere. Maybe it's just global anyway now. I don't know. That's what some people say.
Yeah, it's picked up everywhere.
That's why I want a greenhouse. We have such a short growing season here anyways. And if you do any type of greenhouse or indoor growing, then you're not getting the chemtrail pollution. Then you can keep things pure.
You see, here there are so many properties that have like old like chicken houses on them. And my daughter's always saying you could convert the roof and make it a greenhouse, or you can have indoor grow lights. That way your plants aren't corrupted by these chemtrails, and you can protect it from insects and
Yeah,
I'm in the mountains. I grew up out in Utah. I don't know if you heard me because you guys were talking, but so if you look at Newcastle is where I grew up, like in the middle of nowhere. And then Hurricane was the other main area that I grew up in by Zion's National Park. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Like you walk outside and it's literally a postcard. Like I miss it a lot. So. I think I'm going to try to get some sleep, you guys. It's past 3 here. So.
No, you don't get to.
I'm going to go sit in the hot tub for a while.
Listen to her rubbing it
in.
What?
Listen to her rubbing it in.
Yeah, he's like, I got to go.
Yeah, Dark Wolf wants to join you.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your own private gun show.
Joe.
Right.
Or as Poppy called them, cannons.
Oh my God! Why would you inflate his head like that?
Inflate his head. Which head are we talking about? Wait a minute.
You're so funny.
No, Poppy called them cannons. Martha's like, why'd you inflate his head like that?
Oh my goodness. He already had the contest with Glenn where they measured them to see whose is bigger.
Do what?
Yeah.
I said you already had that contest with Glenn where y'all measured to see whose arms were bigger.
And who
That was
won?
really funny. Yes,
What?
you won. Oh my goodness.
Wait, what?
Glenn caught me in chat one day, and he'd been like showing off his muscles and whatnot. And he's like, "Well, how big are yours? Grab a tape measure. We'll
How
compare."
big are yours? Is that a guy thing or what? How big
It
is
is.
yours? Let's measure? Are you fucking kidding me, Jerry?
No, we have to specify arms when he's like, yeah, I measured, got the ruler out and measured in a competition. Arms, people. Arms. Glenn's
see,
been
and
working out ever
What
since.
are you telling me?
You've been comfortable.
Well,
the
see,
whole
and
time.
men,
You fucker.
Yeah, he asked me to measure him though, so I finally went and got a tape measure for
Oh,
the
that's
room.
so funny.
And I measured around as best I could, and it was like an inch and a half bigger than his.
oh my God.
Glenn Mink.
I don't even know who that
The
is.
Sasquatch hunter I was talking about.
Oh, all right.
Poor
Oh,
Glenn, I think he's been in the gym ever since then.
Yeah,
think
he's
he's been
been
in-
going through some rough stuff lately.
yeah.
he has.
Hmm.
He was on today on Facebook. He live streamed for a minute on Facebook, and then he came on and did a YouTube later. Yeah, he's doing okay.
We need to
Okay,
get to him so we can heal him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been diagnosed with cancer. I mean, he needs like a healing center. He needs people
Yeah.
like around him, like, trying to match his frequency and heal that stuff.
Yeah, and he's not very far away from me, but I don't know anything about that. Like, I have no training in that. So, I can offer him some, of whatever I can, but, I don't know how to channel all that stuff or anything. But
Yeah.
because I think he's like 5 or 6 hours away from me, I think, something like that. But he said that he comes to Indianapolis to the hospital sometimes. So I'm hoping that like the next time he comes up, then we can meet in Indianapolis, which would be nice because that's like only a few hours. So
Yeah. Well, I was able to get rid of my pituitary tumor, so
Here, here.
he's already out. Yeah, whatever his, not just the cancer, but whatever the other diagnosis was with his muscle thing, and
Yeah.
he's already lived that. So yeah.
All right. Well, you gonna get some sleep, Poppy?
I'm gonna try. Fingers crossed. It usually takes me a while to wind down, but if I don't start now, I'll be up until like 10 in the morning. So
The mountain
Yeah, I
Stay
gotta
up.
catch a nap. I gotta catch a nap before work.
yeah, it was nice talking to you guys.
Yes,
And thanks to everybody in the chat.
Pleasure to actually talk to you finally.
Yeah, got to do it again.
Yeah.
Most definitely. It's been an
Yeah.
absolute pleasure, ladies. I've had a blast.
Good night,
And
everybody.
I'm glad I got to meet. Good night, Poppy. And Dark Wolf, I'm glad I got to meet your lady. She's freaking awesome. I love her.
Yeah. what do we
You've
call
got to
her?
study with the rest of us. Do
Do
I?
we call her Cat? Is that what you said? We call her Cat?
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, good night, Wolf and Cat. It was nice meeting you two. Have a good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. Love you guys.
Night. Bye, everybody.